Boom! This episode of Talks with KG is sponsored by Kanai Cleaning Services. Quality service at all times. Located out of New York, serving all 5 boroughs. They have been in business for over 15 years. Services include cleaning of schools, cleaning of hospitals, cleaning of houses. It don't really matter. Just link up with Kanai Cleaning Services. Their number is 917-200-4362 or email kanaienterprise.com. Also, Jave Auto AC, located number 182 Eastern Main Road, El Dorado, for all your AC needs. Right now the sun hot, so Jave AC is definitely a spot. Boom.
I got real vex, you know. I reached home yesterday after all that rain. You know, my whole roof blew off. Everything get wet and mashed up. And my girl leave, man.
Serious? But why she leave you?
Well, she was in the house too. She blew away with the roof.
Oh, but you should have insurance, but.
Nah, I don't own the place now. I rent it. So
Renter's insurance, you never hear about that?
No, you telling me that, dog? Oh, gosh.
Alright, hold on, relax. Look, amalgamated insurance brokers right down there. Look, you will go fix it up.
Here, right there?
Yeah.
Hi, good day. Oh, sorry. Hi, good day.
Hi, good day. Welcome to Amalgamated Insurance. How can I help you today?
So it is, right? My whole roof blew off from all that rain. I want to make sure that never happen again. What you could do for me?
Oh no, so sorry to hear that. So here's what, right? We have a renter's insurance policy that will cover all your general contents, furniture, electronic items, jewelry, all the works. Sounds good, right? This protects you from things like burglary, fire, burst pipes, and all natural disasters.
Okay, well, that sounds good. Sign me up now. As I'm here, what other insurance types do you offer? Because I want to make sure that they have no other surprises in store for me, you know?
We offer all types of insurance for individual and commercial clients, from sole traders to industry giants. And we also offer property, motor, marine, group health, and everything else at competitive rates.
Sign me up for everything except marine. I hear better to use a friend boat than to own one.
Welcome to another episode of Talks with KG, where we keep it real and nothing else but real. And Happy New Year to everyone. We in 2026. We have been doing this podcast for approximately 2 years now. You know, that time fly very, very fast. Now we on to the 3rd year of Talks with KG. I take a little vacation, you know, I went Barbados for the Christmas, spend time with the family. But we back to work. And this is the first episode for the new year. So you know we had to kick it off the right way. Now off camera, I was telling my guests that I hate to do interviews. Well, hate is a strong word. But I dislike interviews where I just had to force information out the artist because I'm not really familiar with the artist. I really enjoy doing interviews with creatives that I've been observing for years. And when I mean years, because you know KG been in the game a while, and then that had artists who've been in the game even before me, right? Mm-hmm. Those are the type of interviews that I enjoy. You know, certain artists that kind of set the foundation for my generation. You know, artists that I used to observe coming up in the days and be like, all right, I seeing young ones doing the things same, you know, bigger people like Nebula 868 and Chromatics and I mean certain men that kind of pioneer my generation of the thing. But tonight, I have an artist here that I've been observing. Probably 10, 15 years I would say. I've been observing.
It's a long time.
Been observing. Set the thing. We have a lot to talk about. But tonight, I want to introduce a bad artist. I know him as Mark Hardy, but all you might know him as Braveboy.
Hi, brother. You
That
good?
is it, my G.
Bless up.
Yeah. I mean,
Big fan of the show too. Big
timing
fan
is
of the
everything,
show.
bro.
You know that? Yeah.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
As I say, I've been observing your grind. When we start to talk, you're going to be like, hey boy, KG really been observing me, boy, you know? Because I was a student of the game. Because one thing with KG, I does study this thing. Especially people in my generation and the people who was kind of like, quote unquote, professionally or trying to professionally, because you know how difficult this thing is.
Yeah, this is, I was telling some youths yesterday, this industry different.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
They know.
You know, but real to real, bro, I like to give people the flowers before I start my interview. I like to give them the flowers for certain reasons. You know, I don't just say, I give you flowers. I like to tell them exactly why I giving them the flowers. So let me tell you why I giving you your flowers. This could be about, we say, 2010, 2011, if I could remember. I was a huge fan of Synergy TV. You know, I used to really watch my Synergy. My TV never used to move from Synergy. I had cable, and all I watching is Synergy. You was one of the men who I used to see on the Synergy, like music videos. I remember you had a video with Santana Puppet, I'm a Trini, and all these type of things. Now all these days I'm young and I coming up in the game. And I trying to figure out how to do things, like how to shoot music videos, how to get quality productions, how to do all these different things. That's why I call names like Nebula 868, you know, because they were one of the men that kind of inspire me when it comes to
them. I could get stories about them because I saw the episode of Sean.
Right, Diamond Brother for life.
Nebula 868 had fans screaming.
Let me be real.
Like you feel it's Justin Timberlake or for sure.
Big up Choppy,
I was
big
there.
up Wong.
Yeah, big them up,
right?
big
But
them up.
You definitely, bro, was one of those who used to be on my TV screen, you know, at a very young age where I was trying to figure out this game, and I would see this Mark Hardy, you know, Isaac Trini, you know, like representing for the Trinidad energy. It wasn't soca, it wasn't calypso, but it was your own style, you know. And I would look at it and be like, hey boy, one day I wanna do that too. You know, I wanna bring my own thing to the game, same way too. So it definitely was an inspiration to me. You know, quietly I would just be in the shadows and just looking, and you know, I had to give you your flowers for that for sure, because a lot of you probably look at me today and be like quietly in the shadows and be like, hey KG, I like how we do anything by and you were definitely a man who inspired me, bro. You know? So I had to give you flowers.
And I know you started off as a rapper too.
As a rapper. So I was looking at you doing this Trini rap type of dancehall mix kind of thing, and I was like, plus you had your dreads. You know, I had my kinky dread growing up them days. So I watching the whole imagery of something that we probably wasn't accustomed to. So it was the first time I was kind of seeing it. That is, again, that's why I call names like Nebula 868 and all these things.
No, it was a movement.
It was a movement, basically.
Big up Brendan Star too.
Brendan Star. We could call so many names. So Chromatic was like the father.
Chromatic.
You know, he was like the father of that movement.
Spot Rushers. Before that was Jedrin. Before that was, I could tell them about hip hop history.
V-Max was there.
V-Max, rest in peace, rest in peace.
A lot of men, you know, a lot of men. Bro. So when I get your flowers, I know you come from real far, and to see that you're still here today, you're still persistent, you're still pushing the craft. You was always someone that represent, you know, when it comes to the new wave. Basically.
I think I always love new generation stuff. Like I felt like even though I'm older than you, I always felt like I'm more fitting with younger generation stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Now I know you as Mark Hardy. You know, the people might know you as Braveboy. Some might probably now know you for the first time because you have a nice soca on the scene, you know, have different chapters in the thing. You know, but I know you as Mark Hardy. But for the people who do not know who you are on a whole, let me go to the very, very, very beginning. Who is?
I have a long story. Are we at 2
terabytes?
Yeah, 2 terabytes
of memory.
So who am I?
Who is Marcus Braveboy? Where you come from, where you born, what school you went, that kind of energy.
Alright, so Marcus Braveboy, son of Hilton Braveboy, who was in the media. So my father is a cultural, she was a fan of culture, stand up for culture. But basically, you know, when the TV station, we only had 1 or 2 TV stations. And I was in primary school, my father was on TV, and he was just always somebody who gave a lot of people opportunities. And
when they say he was on TV, like what he was doing on TV?
He was a television host for a few years, and then he was a television producer. So he was one of the first, I can't remember if it was the, TTT for sure. I think he worked on TTT, but it was a government channel. And he used to show a lot of government shows, and he would interview calypsonians and interview politicians, and then he got more
So he doing like what I doing there now?
pretty much, yeah. That
yeah.
is just the thing. And he got more into he liked production and editing, and that was him, right? But I am from the West, from Diego Martin, Pity Valley. I grew up. But funny enough, I lived 1 or 2 years, my first 2 years of life at Santa Rosa. A lot of people don't know that, right?
Yeah, East man.
For 2 years, I tried to claim Team Rosa, but Team Rosa said, no, boy, you gotta do at least 5 years, right? Yeah, no, just as I say, I went St. Bernadette's primary school. An interesting life, and I could talk real talk here because I was watching some previous episodes. A lot of people think that because you're from the West, you have money. That is not true. The West is
that was literally narrative as a Rima man. The West was looked at as them fellas not like we. You know?
Nah. So I grew up in the West in I guess middle class life. You know, two I say parents. I'd say my father's a public servant. My mother was working as an administrative assistant. So I don't come from money, but my parents work really hard. I'm my only child, so you know they did what they could. I hear stories now where my mom tells me that, you know, like they really struggled to make sure that I was okay.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, but for me, I had a good childhood. I ain't gonna lie, I had a good childhood, and I went to what you call a white boy primary school, but that is because my grandmother was the standard 5 teacher there. I mentioned this just to say it gave me a different perspective of life from a very young age. Right?
A balance, like.
So think like down the islands and them things. I been doing that, but I didn't realize until older that was a privilege, if you understand what I'm saying. But at the same time, my father used to take me out of school in St. Bernadette's and carry me St. Paul Street to go and play basketball. And it was only years later I realized he was trying to ground me. Right? Because my father's from Hermitage Road, Belmont. And you know, my grandfather was, up to his death, was living Hermitage Road as well. So I balanced in life there. But anyway, after St. Bernadette's, went to CIC. Yeah, DJ Pon is my classmate.
Pon went to school together?
Yeah. Pon used to protect me from one. In 27 years I went to school, nobody ever come around me. And it's because I was always cool with everybody. But I must big up DJ Pon. Pon is a real one. Very intelligent fella. Very intelligent fella. And just days, lineman, sound system days, them days, you know, like, I mean, I could talk on the music side. I used to play clarinet. So I come from a musical background. I used to be in calypso competitions in primary school, and then I was on 12 and under. I don't know if you know what 12 and under. Anti-Acer. So I won best instrumentalist on 12 and under. And then...
So I must be watching you since 12 and under?
Yeah. I outside long time. And then when I discovered, in Form 3, I discovered lineman. And that was the end of...
Form 3,
Form 2, Form 3.
Oh, yes,
bro, once I discovered linemen and gears, and I just say now, I don't know. I clubbing since I 13, bro. That's how wild the West is.
The West are the friend.
I tell you, I go in club. I don't know how I get in them clubs. I was always told. But me and my brethren, I tell you, I lined through CXC, I lined through A-levels. And that is how I know so much people. Because people always ask me, how are you so connected?
True.
I've been networking since I'm 13 years old. So everybody, at least West Side, know me. And I started to branch off to East and Central and South and stuff. But yeah, it's Form 3, sound system days. You know, like for us, I guess West Side, right? The man that we was looking up to was like the Jugglers, Radioactive.
Like Hoppy and...
Yeah, so like them fellas, them was the fellas who drive in the Civic and had the street
the wet men.
Them was the wet men, right? So I didn't really know too much about the rest of the country. But that is when we, in the West, we used to have soccer picnic, we used to have house party. And the mall was a thing. You're going in the mall, West Mall or Long Circular Mall. And that was just life for us. It was just a lot of good vibes. It was before social media. The ICQ, I don't know if you know what ICQ. The social media before... High Five and Facebook and then was something called ICQ. So that's how we like up, right? And I started a sound system in Form 3 called Fifth Element Sound System. We couldn't afford dub plates, so I started to imitate Elephant Man and Spranger Benz and them. That's how I could change my voice so much. So I would say, shit on my nizzle, this is, you know, crazy. Or yo.
So you was recording these things?
Yeah, with a little home mic studio. I had a little mic, my father bought me a little computer mic. And I started recording over dancehall instrumentals. And when we used to play out, I used to use them thing as dub plates. And that is how I started to get into chanting. And then I remember hearing on the promenade, sometime on the radio, when I was in the car with my pops, and I was like, yo, what is this shit? This just sound like something I want to do now. It was soca, but it had a dance all swag to it.
Right. Who you
And
hear?
That is Treason.
Oh,
Three Sons, right?
Yeah,
I heard them.
Treason is definitely
Yeah.
one of my biggest inspirations.
Oh, same. I
Definitely.
They are the reason I am here because them fellas, when I tell you, when
So
I
my
hear that
pause
song, bro,
reason. Like, because I know exactly what you mean, bro.
and I think it's a lot of us, you know. When you
Yeah.
talk to Ola Tunji, if you talk to K-Sharp, if you talk to Sean
Yeah,
from Nebula.
Treason,
I know
man.
Sean have a Treason t-shirt, he does rock and thing, right?
Of course. I remember Treason was a East thing too.
Them fellas, and the swag was different. I remember
Come on.
being out west, but as I say, my inspirations was like the song man and thing. But when you see Menace had the hair, so I kind of,
Yes,
and then
yes.
Ace was like the red man, Pretty Boy,
come
Chris was
on.
like, Krim was like the crazy
And
guy.
he was criminal.
Criminal,
So
right?
it was like, you don't
Yeah,
know,
them
dancehall,
fellas had a
bounty
huge
killer
fella.
type at, you know?
Correct.
Yeah.
But how crazy the West is and how small the West is in a way. I'll tell you a lie, man. Just giving all this for context, right? I used to line with girls from different schools on there. And the other girl from Providence named Crystal Rose. So I had to big up my friend Crystal Rose. She was working with Treason's producer.
Right.
Because Marshall had a studio behind Bishop's. So it was called Ed Gordon Studios. That was when he invested his money in a studio and he was working with different artists and some of the producers. They were trying to work with youths and that kind of thing. So Crystal was working with Ken Holder, and me and my brethren used to mess around on the mic and thing. And we, it had Reggae Gold.
Right, of course.
We make something called Roti Gold.
Roti Gold, yes.
And there's like, when I watching Young Brother and Trinidad and the core of it now, before them fellas got polished and more into, when I'm talking about when it's just internet vibes, that is what we was doing in school. That's what I was doing in my bedroom studio, right? So instead of, she's a hoe, we would say she like bread. If I get her eat 2 hops in her, it's just, you'd follow him talking strippiness.
Yeah.
Boy, talking shit, but that is how I start now. So I could never hate on this new generation of artists because that is where talent does start from.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Correct. So I went from just doing that to Crystal taking the CD and giving it to Ken Holder, and Ken saw something in us.
Right.
So at age 15, I was working in Marshall and them studio. Right. We save our money and well, my pops invest a bit in us and thing. And me and my neighbors, we record a song called The Breathless Show. And I co-produced the song, so I started off producing.
Right.
And my first soca was a Juve hip-hop soca.
Juve hip hop.
Yeah, called The Breathless Show.
So it had like the iron.
Yeah, it was like I got the like from We Will Rock You, and then I put a kind of and it's like I'd like to welcome everybody to the greatest show. The
Like a
Breathless
Treason
Show.
energy.
Yeah, literally. We used to call ourselves the crazy youths from Valley, from Petit Valley, right?
Yeah.
Literally mocking Treason, right? And I was like Menace. My brethren, he was a little mix, so he was Ace. And the next brethren was a little more wild, and he was Krim. I was telling you, them fellas seriously influenced me.
No lie.
So we do Youth Fest, Soca Monarch. I get boo in Soca Monarch, Point 14. First time ever at Point 14. Boo like crazy. Youth Fest, the first time I ever see Class, Coon Rose, Wendell.
So this is all when?
This is like
99 and thing, 98.
this is 99. So in alignment, like this is my alignment years. But this is also, I think I was in Form 4, Form 5. This is before CXC. And I remember the first time I went to Marshall's studio and I'll work with Ken. I came home and I tell my father, I want to drop out of school. So I do music.
You want to drop out?
Yeah.
You went CIC?
Yeah, and he say, hey, son, here. Okay, but we cannot come from the media, so he was cool. He was
You
cool,
understand the thing,
But he said, finish school,
get
your passes, and then we could have whatever discussion after. So said, so done, but I continue doing music. And then my brethren, who I was in the group with, he went away to university. And the other brethren, he had dropped out kind of early. And then it just, I had a home studio. I used to record people. And, like my father gave me a year. He say, after a year, let me see what happens, Manuel. The year come and money wasn't coming.
The same thing too.
Yeah.
My mother gave me 1 year.
1 year, yeah.
I said, Mommy, just give me a year. She said, all right, I'll give you a year.
And bro, I used to work in the magistrate court in Port of Spain, right? And then I had 2 jobs. So when I was like age 19, I was working magistrate court in the day and Digicel in the night. So Digicel, that is when it now launched. I was a call center agent.
Yeah.
So I was just making, at the age, a lot of money. I had my sweet red girl. I was saving for my wet car. I thought that was the Trinidadian dream, like you have that.
You're comfortable.
Every island people party. Me and my girl going to Tobago in the weekend, we're doing everything.
Yeah.
But there's an important part of the story here. Bridging of mine named Simon, right? Simon, he was studying music business.
The Simon you're talking about is the
Simon
that we all
Khan.
know
Yeah.
today.
As a Simon, I don't think a lot of people know.
That is not question mark.
Nah, this is a different
Oh.
Simon. This is one of my best friends.
Yeah.
He studied music business in NYU, right? And he wanted to have a music business project, and we discovered this is when Rihanna was popping.
Right.
So he had an idea to really discover the Trinidadian Rihanna. So we met, is a friend of mine, Anya Leonis, beautiful model from Trinidad, well, West girl, originally from South.
Anya Young Chi.
Nah, this is Anya
Oh.
Leonis.
Right.
It's a real wild story,
Right,
bro, right?
right.
So Anya, we met, Simon and Anya met in the UK because they studied there, and then Simon ended up going NYU. But anyway, he wanted to sign her, right? So he wanted to invest in this music project. And I was his only friend in the music industry, right?
Right.
Can you remember that meeting treason, and at the time I was
yeah.
studying
That was
law.
a small experience.
Yeah, and while I was working in Magistrate Court, I started to study law because I actually
Right.
wanted to study music business. But I couldn't, as I said, I'm middle class fella, I don't come from money. So my father always tried to guide me on the right thing. So he said, hey, what's up? You work and things, save your money, and then you could go away. I ended up studying law because I realized that it's cheaper to do law here. You know, instead of doing the music business degree, I said I'm gonna do something in the meantime, and I ended up studying law basically. So Simon, we ended up going to New York with this project. So at age 20, bro, we was in Atlantic Records because there was a Trini guy there named Sycamore who signed YG and.
Right.
So this sounds like an unbelievable story, but
No,
this
I'm
is
not
really
gonna
my
ask
story. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
you get into the buildings? Like,
It was a kind of situation where my boy Simon has always been a connector, right? And he was able to get some investors and stuff. And because there are a lot of trainees in the music industry, when they hear, and through his program, through the NYU music program, we just kind of met the right people now. So at that age, we was properly like, I was like a personal manager. So when she had to go vocal training, the guy was Backstreet Boys and thing vocal trainer. The stylist was Trey Song stylist.
Jeez.
Vashti, who was dating Pharrell, before that, she Trini too. It's a real Trinis now.
so all those people you're calling, they are Trinidadians?
Vashti was Trini, the others were familiar with Trinidad, but Sycamore he was the connector.
Right.
Because Sycamore was the youngest vice president of A&R for Atlantic Records.
Right.
He had signed Saigon, I don't know if you remember Saigon. Right?
yeah.
That's how long, this youth
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
don't know what
the
we
old
talking
school
about
thing,
there. And in that, bro, I was back and forth. This is when I in law school and thing, I was doing it. I would come back from my exams, but I would go to New York for like 3-4 months.
So you went from wanting to drop out of school to study in law.
Yeah. That's how crazy it was, right? And then New York changed my life now. So I get the context of I was making real money for my age. I had this sweet red girl. Right? That's
Most important.
You zoned into one thing at that age, right? I was saving for Safero. Because I was the car, see all them lawyers and things driving. I say, well, but my image, if I drive in a Safero, they go think, you know? But that was where my mind was at. But when I went to New York, bro, and I just saw all of this exist, that's when I started getting into electronic music, started to understand indie music. So I came back to Trinidad and hip hop. I fell in love with hip hop because I was staying in Brooklyn. And when I came back to Trinidad, I just fell in love with that culture and I kind of brought that here now. So that is how I started to really go into hip hop in Trinidad. And at the time, remember I started off soca earlier in my career. I didn't really get through with the Breathless crew and that. But hip hop was kind of a little more open now. But hip hop was a real Eastman kind of. But if you think about it, hip hop kind of building the East, right?
True.
And then I started to link with EXO and Tim Star, and well, Tim Star from the West, but it was a mix of Flippo, right? Flippo, and I started
Pro Records.
These are people. Don Grant, rest in peace to Don Grant. That's a virgin. He went CIC too, right? So that's somebody I know
Don
from
Grant.
Don Grant went CIC.
That was Don Cartel.
Don Cartel. Yeah,
boy.
Yeah, he's somebody on some hero, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and bro, I came back and I just started, and I always I discovered my love for marketing while in New York. I just used to be in the subway watching all the billboards and like I was obsessed with branding and obsessed with how people market things because you know like big cities like London and
of course.
But coming from Trinidad, I say when I was in Trinidad I was studying with Island People Party, Carnival, but my mind was open and that changed my life now. And that's how I always tell youths, if you could travel, bro, like just
we talking about any car that's coming up.
Yeah. And I wish I just kind of go all over the place on this, but I wish the government would have a system where they reward like certain youth from certain areas. If they do well in school or in other things, they get to just travel. Just cause I know two pandas do that, but generally, I think that would solve a lot of problems.
Of course, it could be a week, 2 weeks.
Life
just
be
the
on the block,
experience.
it life be on the neighborhood.
True.
So anyway, so yes, yeah.
Just get out a small thing.
Yeah.
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 No, so I came back to Trinidad. I started.
Turn 25, so probably turn like 22 or something.
Yeah, I had a job in a music distribution company. I have an a brethren who was trying to bring Apple Music and iTunes. He had a deal with the Orchard. Right, so I is a friend he know in the music industry. And that is the thing about growing. I just kind of give in context in terms of people that say, when you live in the West, you kind of be more kind of, it's the truth, you know, it's really the truth.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, right? But I was the brethren he knows, so I ended up, that's why I meet real people in the industry. We were basically trying to get everybody's music distributed. Before TuneCo and all these things, they had to go through like the Orchard or a big label to do it.
Right.
So I had meetings with Mighty Shadow. I showed him his performances on YouTube. He didn't know his music was on YouTube.
Serious?
Yeah, I had two meetings with the Mighty Shadow. I met Daryl Braxton.
Big
right?
R.I.P.
And that is how true. I went to Daryl Braxton's studio in St. James to try to get him to sign our contract. And that when I meet Sean. I tell you, Sean and Rome was in the studio.
Because Nebula was signed.
So Nebula meet me first as like a business person. So I kind of ended up on the business side of the industry because of that American project. And after that, well, you know, you had to make money. So I was one of the first people in Trinidad to start a social media business. Because when I was in New York, that was new. As in people managing Facebook pages for businesses. So I came back with a hustle and I wanted to do it for entertainment people. And I get 20 promises and I quit my job. And all of them for everybody say, boy, I don't know what to pay. So, and but I started to get corporate clients and that is one-sided. But while I was doing that, I was still building in the rap scene. So that is how Marcus Braveboy and Mark Hardy became two separate things.
So Marcus Braveboy is the businessman.
Right. And law is a kind of, law is a kind of serious profession, you know. You can't be, now it change up where I feel like people could be whatever, but before it's like you can't be an artist and a lawyer at the same time. Right? So that is the core of how I started in the industry here. I know it's a long story, but it's important because I just want to kind of show. I just want to show people how
you went head first into the business and the marketing and the right way basically.
And that was that background. Because even with this song I have now, and I always had a mark. That's what made me stood out. That's what made me stand out in Trinidad. I always knew how to market myself.
And network.
And network. And that is because of all these things, and life really interesting. And then hip hop, Trinidad hip hop. So I remember I ended up going more in the east now because nobody in the west doing hip hop. True. But when I say I know, I found out after that Anson Lanson actually still live in the west. Kit, they was doing hip hop.
Who Anson?
Pro.
He was doing hip hop?
As
a producer?
A rapper.
Anson Pro as a rapper?
A very bad artist.
What the bumbo clad
I can't remember what his artist name was, but Anson he had one of the baddest voices in the country.
Anson?
Anson had studio in Dago. But I started off working with like Flippo. XO and Flippo was one of the first fellas to really embrace me and say, yo, come to the studio, Hardy. And we did something. This was Meek Mill. Like I'm a boss. I shoot a video by the Savannah.
They like 20.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever see that one.
11 and they
I think so, yeah. So it was me, Flippo, Meat Sauce. I don't know if you know who Meat Sauce is.
Big up Meat Sauce.
Big up Meat Sauce.
Was part of Spot Rushers.
Correct.
Of course.
And
Meat Sauce was the first local dancehall artist I ever know.
Serious? Well,
I swear.
Right. He was a true student of the game.
I know.
Yeah.
Meat Sauce. But when the whole of the East Side was doing rap and everybody was on this hip hop thing and Meat Sauce was this little dancehall artist in the middle. Just doing this hardcore dancehall.
One of the best.
All the hip hop shows I go to, I still see Meat Sauce. So he was
the thing. And so even though Tim Star and Meat Sauce, they're from Bones Road, right? They're from around this area. So them is West fellas too. The studio was by Flippo. And then I think I went by DLL to record something too. Right? And DLL is on the east side too. I think DLL is a Remo. And then Pun and them used to do hip hop events in by the Crazy there, around Sour
Right,
side there.
right, yeah.
And upstairs in some
Yeah,
random
yeah,
bar.
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like that hip hop really, I think
No,
that era
hip-hop-
hip hop was an East thing.
Bro, it was amazing.
Yeah, and then through that, well, Brendan Starr,
Brendan
me and
Starr
Brendan
was
stand
East,
up
yeah.
getting cool. All this is before Young
Real,
Brother.
dog, you know,
And
you
ma-
really bring, like, you really, that hip hop thing was really
Bro,
an East
it
thing.
was. Yeah. At least in this era. But even them fellas, like, if you ever hear about Dredrin, it are fellas who came before. East is a kind of East swag.
It was heavy in the East.
It was heavy in the East.
Yeah. I never really look at it that way, but when you recall the names now, it's like, wow.
No, but even
was-
now that I think back, right? One of my best friends, you know Michael Mulida is a filmmaker.
Yeah,
Mikey
yeah.
from Trin City.
Right.
So Mikey's originally an Eastman, right? But all them used to wear bandanas like Cash Money and
Yeah.
I think Cash Money buzz started in East in Trinidad. So it has so many East of Trinidad with hip hop.
Something happened there.
Grandy
Yeah.
too. Something about Grandy. I find Grandy just have their own swag.
No lie.
Grandy is like a big city.
Yeah. It's very weird, eh?
It's very interesting.
So many artists just come
and
out and
creative
still
people.
coming out
for
of
sure,
Grandy,
for
eh?
sure. So
Yeah.
so hip hop was an East thing, I would say back then, and hip hop was now starting to buzz, and this is when Facebook started.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the idea to do mixtapes because when I was in New York, I saw people was dropping mixtapes,
Right.
and it was a thing to do a remix, do a verse on somebody else.
On
song.
somebody beat, yeah.
So I didn't want to do anything underground. I always like commercial music. So I was a big fan of Wiz Khalifa.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard Black and Yellow. And I had the idea to do Armor Trini.
Right.
And then I was trying to think about how I could market this.
Armor
And then
is a Trini.
I don't know if you know Individual Aesthetic, Keegan Simon. I ever see the brand Individual Aesthetic. He's a
Yeah,
local
name
clothing
sound
line.
familiar, yeah.
But I'm a boy from Belmont.
Right.
And we had a creative circle in the West, like, us just getting along and trying to Reese from 5 Miles to Midnight, Reese who's
Right,
Boom
right.
Boom Room, right? Yeah, I grew up with all these people, right? Everybody know
You
me.
call it some names
Yeah,
with
yeah.
5 miles, boy.
I perform, I used to tour with 5 Miles.
Them, I know that. Yes, for real. Them, I know it was huge
Yeah.
inspirations, bro.
Huge inspirations. We
Huge
put the
inspirations, bro.
Evanescence.
No joke.
Yeah.
No joke, yeah.
Yeah, no, so I was talking about, right, so the individual. So individual was like, it'd be real funny, Jed, if you get Santana in the video.
Right.
And I reach out, I saw
Because Santana was the thing.
Yeah, I found out who was behind Santana. It's like a guy named Roger Alex.
Right,
Roger Alex,
of
real
course,
cool
yeah.
fellow. Eastman too.
Big
So-
up these, boy.
I somehow, I don't know how, I got Roger number and I called, I said, bro, I'm a young artist and I have an idea to do a video. I'm a big fan of Santana. Can we have a cameo from Santana?
Right.
And he was like, cool, and we shoot it and
Yeah.
that blew up the song on Facebook.
Right.
So it was almost like mini viral on Facebook before we know what viral was.
True,
right?
true.
And then it ended up getting popular. Then Synergy launched as
Yeah,
well.
well, that way I used to see it.
Yeah, and Synergy, that launched my career. And then people knew me for that. And then Slam used to play it, Slam 100.5.
Right.
So then that when me and Nebula was just doing shows together.
Right.
Them was the headliner, I was the opening actor. I had one song.
Right.
And them fellas was rock stars. Them fellas get...
Never lie, it, six
Never-
hit.
I don't
boy.
think people understand
No,
how...
they don't. You had to be there.
You had to be there. And I remember seeing that video with not Rolling in a Sun, it was after that, where it was like I
Kings
think
of the City.
it was shot in Santa Rosa. They just had this
Kings
whole
of the-
movement.
yeah,
I think the
El
Kita
Pain,
Cornwall
all
was in
them
the
ones.
video and
Yeah,
El Pain. I was like,
El
what
Pain.
going on? I say, what going on there, boy?
Yeah, bro.
So I know you just talk about hip hop in previous episodes, but I had to shine
I
light.
have to talk about it because
Yeah. A lot of people
I think
don't know.
that a lot of people feel like everything start from the Trinidad or the
Nah, yeah,
but this
yeah.
generation was doing works.
They was putting in
I
works.
was part of it. You was
Correct.
part of
You-
it. Choppy
correct,
was
correct,
part of
correct.
it.
Yeah.
Like Mevon was part of it.
Mevon
Like
was a big
imagine
part of it.
Mevon producing big soca song for Marshall and
Yeah,
thing now.
yeah.
But they would know that
Nah,
these
we used
men
to
was
put-
part of a movement.
Mevon is a raptor.
Well, I ain't
Mevon is a 50 Cent fan, Mevon.
Jeez.
So it have...
I mean like Kavi, you know Kavi, Kavi, Drew brother.
Right. Oh,
Ricardo
Kavi
Drew.
Group.
Yeah, Drew brother. Kavi was no big up Kavi.
No, Kavi. The Kavi
No,
is a real one.
that
Kavi is a
was
real
big
one.
up
I'm a real
Kavi
one. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
when I did no start to rap,
Yeah,
maybe like
yeah.
2008, 2009,
Yeah.
Kavi was one of the, just like you,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah,
where
yeah.
certain men I saw
Yeah.
doing the thing that really inspire me and
Nah,
show me that,
Kavi-
all right, this
yeah.
thing is possible. Trinidadians
Respect to Kavi.
could rap. Trinidadians could sing.
No,
And the man was bad. Kavi had flow and lyrics.
Yeah, and I think Kavi
Premier
came,
Studios, you know.
Premier Studios.
Bro, that was some
Primo
days.
Sparks, our next dope rapper too. I'll big up Giandre Diaz. So who the kind of started developing me as an artist is a guy named Giandre Diaz, and he's somebody you don't like interviews and thing, but I think he's an unsung hero at Trinidad. He's the one who produced all them Spot Rushers projects.
Right.
Anything to do with hip hop, he was behind it. But he went on to have credits on Kanye album at Life of Pablo as a recording engineer.
Right.
Plus he worked with a lot of big people. So Giandre and Tamara, rest in peace, Tamara Carpet. She passed away recently. But they had a studio called Burning Bush Studios, and that was in St. James, and real people. And that's why I meet Shell Shock. That's how I meet Rocky. Gate look me in my eye when I wine in Rocky. Everybody used to park K-Shab. I meet all of them there. So my life has just been, I feel like I meet everybody in the industry. Right. The only person I don't think I ever personally met was Blazer Dan, who's a big influence on me. Especially this song now.
Definitely.
Huge. But yes, but hip hop was just fast forward, not to go too long on it. Hip hop was a big thing in Trinidad. And then because of the Armatrini, I was still liming, right? Yeah. So I was on Scorch Committee. Right. I was one of the few people on Scorch Committee. I was one of the first people, on Scorch Committee. And I think they wanted to do a mixtape series for summer. And somebody was saying, why don't get a dubplate from Braveboy, Mark Hardy? Right. And I knew Mevon from before, right? He used to work with one of my ex-girlfriends. And Mevon told me he was building up his studio. So I said, you know what? Let me go to this studio. Let me give, Mevon close to me. He told me a long time. So I went to record the dubplate there for Scorch. And then he was like, he had his friend, if I don't mind if the guy come to the studio. I was like, sure. And it was Young Rod. And the first time we ever link up.
Big up Young Rod, man.
Yeah, big up Young Rod.
Young Rod
very talented.
Thing,
yeah.
I'm telling you.
Still doing this thing in hip hop. And
son, you know.
Yeah.
Rapping with we. Yeah,
the first time we ever link up, me, Mevon and Rods, we did, remember Jay-Z and Kanye had a song called Otis? Right, we did a song called Dotish. This was around State of Emergency.
I remember
and
that.
we record this song and shoot the music video in one day.
Right.
Our first time meeting, and then we realized, let we continue to work together. And then the first song we did was Pumping.
Jesus.
And then Simba Amani, I don't know if you know Simba Amani.
Of course.
Simba Amani was actually, it was me, Rods, and Simba Amani.
Yeah.
But I think Simba was going through a transition, focusing on reggae. Right. And he was just dealing with personal stuff too. Right. So me and Rods end up working the song. We was on Synergy, we was on this.
Yeah,
so that is how we end up on duo.
Simba never really was around.
Nah, he was in the music video.
Now let me tell you something. Yeah. It's like our Facebook and memories.
Yeah.
Right. So every morning I have a ritual where I wake up, thing, I go on my toilet, wherever I scroll on my memories. I love to see like who we were 50 years ago, 60 years ago. And we so old now, and Facebook so old too. That my memories just go back to 17, 18 years ago. I can tell how long Facebook out, because Facebook out since like 2006 and
Instagram.
So I was a constant poster on Facebook. So I have a lot of memories on Facebook now. And one memory that's come up every year on the same day is me tagging you, Young Rod, and Simba. When all you do pumping.
No, I remember being Facebook friends.
And I was saying in the status, I say, this song pumping. Because I mean, them days men trying the hip hop thing, and nobody really catching a hit.
No, I say big up Nebula.
I can't forget that.
Mecasmiastic, cheese pie and pack juice. Cheese pie and pack juice. I don't make them up because I feel like fellas is unsung heroes too.
No lie.
Because them fellas were real, but that song
was part of the thing.
Yeah. So I don't make sure and give them.
But you see that pumping? When I dropped that pumping, I knew that was what it was supposed to be.
Like, that was a game changer, and I think it came from just being creative now. Me, Mevon and Rods, we have a kind of synergy, and it come with this song with me and Mevon now too. There is real brotherhood, and we just talk real shit now. So it's like, when we in studio, it's just fun, and we will say, boy, it's on, so hey, that gonna be a good line, and then we go in the booth. And that booth so many, and we used to do this thing called N-Word Tuesdays. right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
And I was surprised you never passed through that. Every Tuesday, I think it was Thursdays or Tuesdays, I can't remember. But every week, people would come. Sometimes people would bring in rum, people bring in weed, people bring in this.
Yeah.
And that is how we started to work with different people. And we had the idea to do an album. But then it ended up being me and Rod again. And then Nah Boy, we ended up doing Nah Boy.
So Nah Boy was the track right after the
Yeah, and I can remember a bridge in our mind was like, that's when everybody was saying Nah Boy. He was like, I challenging you to do a song about like Nah Boy, you know? And that is it.
Nah Boy was even a bigger hit.
A bigger hit. And then we had Eyes At Chinny with Jimmy Up. And we wanted to not just have it for us, but bring other artists in. So we always had that vision. It's not us thing. We wanted to be a movement. So we brought Jimmy October. We still work with J-Naj. We never officially did a song with Naj, but he was part of the team. NZ. Right? Sean and Wong, they've done songs. Freetong, we bring Freetong in the studio to work. So what I see going on now, I like it because there's a lot of people I'm familiar with in the industry. So that's why I feel a little more comfortable stepping into soca.
Right.
Because I look around and as Teja, I know Teja since he going Teja's story is amazing. You need to do an interview with Teja.
I need to.
Yeah.
But before we go into, you know, when you all do the pumping and you do the Nah Boy, I think all you had one called YZC.
YZC, man.
Or they should buy the dial,
and we get dropped up.
But I thought they should somebody dial.
We should have by the dial, So we had shoot some scenes on the Avenue with a dropped up Benz or BMW. And then we went to the dial. Right.
I remember them things.
Yeah. Because we wanted to show that it's not just a West thing. It's like, this is us now.
It's on the ground.
You know?
Or it's another thing, right?
Yeah.
But the pumping was, it shoot to the roof. And the Nah Boy shoot to the roof.
Yeah.
And I think from my observation, after the Nah Boy, even though like all was dropping hits and whatnot, nothing was as big as the pumping and the Nah Boy.
I think,
I would say no.
We had Mood. Mood was the last. I don't know if you know Mood. That is the one with, with Abdiel.
That was a big
So
one.
we was trying to be reactive because, you know, with popular music, trends always changing. So we was kind of trying to adjust. Okay, this is more popular now, Larry. But hip-hop had started dip.
Why would you say it started to dip? From your observation.
One, I think after a while, if things not making money, you know, it's like the law of diminishing returns, right? So with us, we wanted, after pumping, we invested our money and said, all right, we're going to get this Nah Boy mix even better, shoot the video even better, we're going to invest in album, we started to do things properly, and then it was the scene, the videos just started to get better and better. But then, the money you're making from shows, promoters barely want to. I mean, me and Rod's probably got, I would say, aside from maybe our Spot Rushers or maybe Matix or Nebula, I think we probably got the most gigs backed up, like paying gigs now. This is a real conversation. And you couldn't buy a car, you couldn't buy. So, at the end of the day, remember when getting older too, and then, so I think everybody in hip hop, life get real now. You know, men have bills to pay. Or parents asking, what's going on, this hip-hop thing that you're doing. And I don't think we had a fully collective movement too, where men started to be like, I rolling with this one, I rolling with this one. We were trying to bring everybody together, but I think naturally men was jealous of this one. And the normal thing that's happening in every genre. But I think the issue is money. We never had all the other genres have investors. Right? So soca is the obvious one. Soca is the mainstream of Trinidad. So the fets is fets. Where could we? The most we could do is open for hip hop artists that come down. And many times, sometimes we have to beg to do that. You're not even getting paid to do that. So it's like, what else can you do as a hip hop artist in Trinidad? You could only open. So it never had like a hip hop festival or hip hop. And then the smaller gigs and the little club gigs is barely came. So I think lack of investment, because remember dancehall, Trinidad and stuff in its own way has investors, right?
To a certain degree,
when I say it, I mean, whether you want to say it's community leader, whoever pushing money and investing in the artist, I don't think hip hop ever really had that. It had Pro Records, where they had their own investor, but hip hop as a movement never really had. So it's all a we kind of saving real money, coming together, but then you go and you invest and you do a good video. And you're not getting paid, it's no gigs, it's no. And then hip hop is a kind of, how do I say it? Remember, it's the accent versus the local thing. And the more I started to trap, we meet Fabulous on him. Me and Rods was in studio with Fabulous, and We feeling good. We like music stars
growing
of Trinidad.
up. Yeah,
and
growing
then we
up.
press play. And Fabulous do this. And he was like, it's dope, man.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he just went his way. Because he didn't know what doubles is.
Yeah.
He don't know what he don't know what happened. And it's just a reality check. And as I tell people, I think Caribbean hip hop generally, for now, never broke into the international market. I don't know why.
Say that again?
Like Caribbean hip hop.
Right.
Right, as in authentic Caribbean hip hop. I don't mean Nicki Minaj, I don't mean Trinidad James.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Trinidad
from Trinidad, you're
Yeah.
from Barbados, you're from. I don't think, because it have dope Bajan. I know you touch it have dope Jamaican rappers
No
too.
lie.
But it could be that the world wants to hear more authentic Caribbean music from the Caribbean. So, in like, I know it have rappers in France, rappers in any Australia, rappers in Nigeria. But there's bigger places now. Feeling these smaller islands, we don't have enough. It don't even like it have one Caribbean movement.
Yeah.
But I would say Trinidad hip hop to some extent influenced Trinidad. Right?
It did.
Yeah, so I think it had its purpose.
Yeah.
So all the stuff we just talk about it, I think Trinidad would not happen if it didn't have pieces of this. Because people was watching Synergy, people are not saying it will be me or Young Rod, but it could have been Nebula, it could have been you, it could have been other people.
And I remember too, the men that quote unquote pioneered the Trinidad, like men like myself and DJ Pun and whatnot.
Yeah.
We came from that hip hop.
Yeah, I was watching TV, I was saying, I think I
So
not.
we used, as I say, the experience that we learned from the hip hop
It was an independent
industry.
grind. It taught
Of
us independent. Because you talk about LP, I don't bring up LP and LP.
mean?
I was
Me
doing
and
some, I was
LP.
doing some research. I see you and LP.
Me and LP had one of the biggest battles on
No, it's an
Facebook.
episode they say, well, yeah, don't fight it.
Bro, he swing for me, I jump on car, run through track.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
real, but the reason why we was doing these things is because I think that we kind of understood what the industry needed.
Yeah.
And we
Shock
knew
value.
that Trinidad
Shock
was missing that from ever since.
And I don't know if you remember, it had a beef with, oh God, what's his name? Leon, a white boy from US and Make It Happen. And he went.
Who he? Sosa.
Now, what's my boy name again?
No, Jesus.
And then Leon was his last. He used to sing reggae kind of thing. Can't remember, but I remember he went Pinto Road. And he started off, this white boy started Pinto Road so and saying, I ain't your hood.
I think I remember you talking about yeah.
But all them things.
A lot of those things.
Yeah. We all do a documentary. Right?
That's sure, bro.
Yeah, but-
so, and that was like Trinidad in its own.
And it had some little, I know like men like Simmer, I don't know if you know Simmer, it had men like Simmer and men like, it had a bunch of them, like they were starting to do kind of like gangster hip hop.
Yeah, I remember
in
V-Max and Dirty Boy Fresh, that little
Dirty Boy Fresh and
beef
next
going
one.
to,
Yeah.
you know, rivalry
It
and
had
had those
done
things.
right. And we was, I think to be honest, we were trying to stay away from that because remember I was in the corporate world too. So I started to see that Dan are really good for business. Hey, Trinidad too small for that. So it's like me and Rod started to get endorsements. So that's why I say we probably made, maybe, I don't know, I can't speak on the others, but we probably made the most money off of hip hop. And it wasn't much.
Because it went into men focusing on just biting off each other's head.
Yeah.
You know, and not necessarily creating an industry or
correct. And we tried to
creating-
do like more pop stuff and then men saying about like hip hop real soft in Trinidad.
Yeah.
It started to become
I
that.
wasn't into that. Yeah.
But I think somehow hip hop dip, I really think it's a financial thing because I think I remember you said this in an episode, hip hop is a kind of, what car you driving, what kind of.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about driving Lambo and you're traveling, then go laugh at it.
So that might be Trinidad, the reason why people gravitate towards it because men believe.
It's real.
Yeah.
And our selling
We
point.
wasn't really believing men.
Correct, and our selling point was patriotism, right? So we used to talk little swag talk. I was talking about, because the truth is, my life as a fellow from the West, I'm a very popular person in the West, right? So my life was partying, girls, just networking. Like that was what the stuff I was talking about is the life I was living at the time, right?
Of course.
But we from Trinidad and everybody had like that little swags, braggadocious lyrics, but I ain't saying I'm driving a Ferrari.
True.
I ain't saying them kind of thing. But I think it had dip because Carnival always used to come every year. And I was talking to Matix about this the other night. It kind of created a love-hate relationship between me and Carnival and Soca because
I know what you mean, bro.
yeah, because you work so hard.
Carnival come.
Yeah,
I can't release no music.
You had to start from and then they tell you the Soca and Synergy. I remember they used to tell you the Soca switch start in like September or something.
for
So you
real.
can't drop.
That's
And
how summer done.
And you know working on this project and we get momentum. And then Carnival go come And then after, we had to
Nothing.
remind people again.
Right.
So that kind of created this us versus them thing now. And it had plenty shows where me and Rod shared with soca artists, where we get, this is during the year,
Yeah.
we get more forward than some soca artists. People was loving what we was doing, right? But it created this kind of us versus, and then a lot of these soca artists didn't really respect us as people who didn't do soca.
Call it rappers.
Yeah, so it
Rappers
had,
from
remember we
Trinidad.
booked for shows too, so it kind of, you get a certain kind of treatment backstage.
Yeah.
You on the lineup too as a headliner.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all them things just, you start to feel a home.
Of course, of
You
course.
know, and I think that it, and then I started after hip hop. I met Bad Royal. They came to work with Bungie.
Right.
And I meet them Bad Double Stand, right?
Right.
It's a networking thing. And I took, remember Bungie and Fiona would have been busy, obviously, with their respective fields doing art, being an artist. So they couldn't really hang out with these guys. So I ended up taking these fellas all in tribe and on top of a truck. I can remember I might connect something to guys from, you know, from here. I know everybody. And I took such good care of them. They was like, come Miami Music Week with us. And that changed my life too, because it's like, I remember I tell you about the New York thing, that opened my eyes. This was a whole next level. This is like, this exists, because you know, EDM, you know, you're thinking that, but bro, that is a whole different world, and I dabbled in that for years because it was a lot. What I like about it, you know, like how, what we like about Trinidad and Zest, something independent and something could go viral. It's not controlled and structured.
Right.
EDM is kind of like that, where the smallest vocalist could end up doing
get
some of the
through.
biggest producer just because they like your vocals, rather than who you are, rather than. So I ended up performing in Lollapalooza with them. I went LA to stay with them, and we performed in Lollapalooza. We opened for Lana Del Rey. And there's things that I on Billboard, on Billboard website.
And I remember we would always see you doing certain things. I was like
what?
this man making these things happen.
Yeah, and I just telling the truth. This is literally, these things just started to happen. I just started to see, and from there, I don't know if you know Shaquille O'Neal. He's an EDM mic man.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Like basketball Shaq.
Yeah, he's an EDM
he went
DJ
into that.
like
Yeah,
that,
he
right?
went into that.
So
Yeah.
I've been to Shaq's parties in Miami, and but Jimmy ended up doing a song with Steve Aoki. So Jimmy was almost like a fellow rapper who's kind of in this world with me now.
course,
So
yeah.
you know, so I MX Prime and them to Ultimate Rejects.
Yeah.
There were a few people who kind of was in the world with me.
Branch off into
Yeah, but that will change my life in terms of understanding one, the business of music, contracts, getting songs signed to labels, distribution, publishing, all them things, and just seeing the world, right? Like just, it's like you from Trinidad, but your song playing in Taiwan.
Right.
A DJ from Taiwan messaged me on Facebook, find me on Facebook, I even talk English,
Yeah.
just to say, hey, what song is that?
Right.
And that when I realized, it had more.
There's a much bigger picture to this.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we as Trinidadian creatives, we tend to want to be accepted in Trinidad so bad.
Yeah.
Before we branch off, we want
Before-
to make sure them people in the hood
Yeah.
rate me.
No, and I must say, everybody had that in them.
Yeah.
I think, I don't want to say everybody, but most of us, you want our local
want people to
validation.
love you.
Yeah, because you may feel.
Dance a yard before you dance.
And I'm sure you
abroad.
just go through this too, where people like, you don't do music again, right?
But that's hurt
Imagine, and that was my life for
me.
like,
Yeah, that's hurt me.
since Trapso stopped. Because remember, most people don't know about it, unless you have me on social media and they really following. You probably just think I just don't do music again.
Yeah, because you're not in the mainstream of
I'm not in the mainstream of Trinidad and things. So that was a whole next interesting chapter of life. And then Bad Royal did a song with Megan Trainor and Marshall. That was very interesting too. And I think that song could have crossed over soca, but some industry stuff happened behind the scenes that it wasn't able to release something. But I learned a lot from them. I always thank them because they treated me like family, like a brother. And I went all over. I toured LA, San Diego, Chicago, Miami, and properly working in rooms like.
I mean, I think that the youths who look at it interview could learn one thing from this far in the interview.
Yeah.
As in the sense of you was always a cool one. Anybody who know Hardy know he's a cool one. Anyway, you see me and he was never really no friends. By the time I see him come and okay, you seen boy anytime I see you out there, you reasoning with somebody. Like you never used to be partying, bro. You would be in the party and you're seeing Hardy in a corner.
Nah, I always on to the net. That is my brain now. My brain and that business.
So what I think the youths them could learn is that, okay, your music could only take you this far. And let's just say your music do not take you this far. Your personality and the way how you deal with people and the everlasting impression that you leave on certain people could take you to the next level.
And I think with me, I like it's an open conversation. I think a lot of people always felt like, I don't find he that talented now. So like, why he getting all these things?
How come he getting these opportunities?
And I could admit that I think it took me a while to develop my talented level where it is today.
You could be real enough and
I could be real enough. So the song Love on the Road now, I couldn't execute that years ago.
So would you say that you know in your mind as Marcus Braveboy that is your personality and your networking skills that got you through?
1000%. And I think this lesson is like people always, I have so many creatives who just feel like, oh God, the industry is real this and there's a fight down, but everywhere in the world it's not just about talent. Now it's either you or that you have to be a network or your manager have to be a network. But you can't just, everybody talented. Like
personality skill is a hell of a thing.
I've been in writing sessions in LA and I meet people who write in hit songs. I talk about hit songs, KG. Like you know it's a hit song in 5 minutes and they never made it. They never made it as artists now, so they write and hoping they'd pitch to a big artist. I know how hard it is out there,
Correct.
And that artist here who not doing that thing
and feel the shit
and entitled and say that it's a fight down and things. So you know, so for me I learned a lot and I always try to share my experiences with people.
So would you say that because the fight down is a word, you know, like people be like fight down in I mean it have fight down. Humans fight people down, period. You know, it is music, right? People might like you, people might like your music, a man might just like you or whatnot, right? But would you say that a key ingredient in breaking that fight down is your mind and your personality?
Yeah, for sure. I saw something the other day on Instagram where the artists who make it is not the most talented, but it's the ones who survive the bullshit of the industry mentally. The ones
how to maneuver through the bullshit.
Because it's a lot, and for your mental health, I've been through it. I mean, bro, we've all played the comparison game where you would see somebody getting something and you're like, it have a piece even if it lasts 5 seconds. You're like, but how he get out, boy, or how he, no matter what. I'm not that kind of person, but I've experienced it already.
Of course.
You know, so, it's a very complicated industry, but I tell youths, you see value proposition. I'll give eggs, like when I went CIC, as I was telling you all, and I was in Form 1, my name was already Braveboy, so people kind of knew the name. But I was the guy who used to bring the football. I was never no footballer, like I used to play basketball and things later in school, but I used to bring the football to school. So people would know me as the small man, because one day my father was just like, well, I have a football here, don't carry it to school. I was like, all right. And I became the man who brought the football to school because of
something to the table.
Right, and I given the story to say by a month after, you know, father dropped me to school, and then somebody from Form 6 was like, Braveboy, you saying you bring the football today? Yeah, if anybody ever come wrong here, so
you're bringing value.
My parents confused, like, how you know you in Form 1 and you this person?
So real.
And it's something I say, like, in this industry, what you bring into the table now. So it's like, for me, the reason why a lot of people collaborate with me, or I'll be honest, I barely pay for music in my career. I barely. It's just because I was marketing myself so well, they saw that once they do a song with me, it will reach somewhere.
You had value.
Anybody I've ever worked with, after working with me, they got more business. Everybody. Or they reach somewhere just because eyes were on me now.
Right.
So I always tell people, it's what you bring to the table. So if it is you're just talented, that ain't not enough anymore.
No,
you know?
It's not.
You gotta be talented plus be able to market yourself for talented, or you could perform on a level that, you know, it has some people who just super, it has some people who are...
It have those ones.
Yeah, I would say, to me, like Nyla is like that. Like I use Nyla.
She's a one.
Everybody knew Nyla was going to make it in music.
Definitely.
Like, the first time I met Nyla, she was playing guitar, and we used to do Kaiso Blues. It has some people you could see as, they just a star.
Yeah.
But it has some people who their star quality, you may not see it instantly, but they worked hard and they built that now. So I think that's me. I been honest.
I
That's
look at
me.
myself as that type of individual.
Yeah.
You work through and you never really let the industry get the best of you.
You never. And I'm following your career too. So when you went away in Jamaica, I was like, well, this fella thinking early different.
Right,
He doing dancehall in Jamaica and
this lane,
Yeah.
a little traffic.
Go in this
Go in
lane.
next lane.
And a good example is Rome, right? A lot of people hate on Rome, right?
Yeah.
Rome is our next version from school. And Rome work real hard. Like, I don't think people understand how hard he does work now.
Definitely.
Now, he know his lane. His lane is that he get through with his parang.
Right.
And he own it. He's the prince of parang.
Oh, so he was also a smart dude too.
Very smart. Very
So he
business
used his
savvy.
intelligence.
Yeah, so I think when I meet youths and they tell me I want to do music, I want to rap, I want to, like, this industry so hard. Like, you had a resilience, but you also had to be strategic now. And I think that going through so much taught me how to be very strategic in music.
Right.
And understand when to release a song.
How to
And
release
marketing is about understanding people. So a lot of people in the industry are not people persons.
True.
So if you're not a people person, how you understand people, right?
Yeah.
So that all that's important. But that's why if you don't understand that, you should have a manager or somebody in the team.
Somebody that understand.
Yeah, somebody in the team could do that now. So all them things,
Is a real thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, all that, that's like the beginning of you. That is your foundation. That is
Serious
who you
foundation.
are. The hip hop industry, the marketing, the business mindset, the people person, the networker. All of these things make up, Marcus Braveboy, aka Mark Hardy. Big up Young Rod.
Big up Young
all
Rod.
that kind of vibe. Big up Mevon.
Yeah.
That movement was.
No, we get police escort on it already,
All them men do all their thing, bro. All them men do all
It
their
has
thing.
stories, whether it is gal, whether it is this, whether it is men, whether it is beef with us, whether it is. It has so much in that era.
Right.
And Nah Boy to me was my favorite because we was in Black Rock riding ATVs in the mountain and there's a whole squad. And we felt, we make it.
The stars.
Dog, we.
The stars.
And then when we won Viewers' Choice at the Cut Awards,
Yeah.
I think that was the next career thing where we beat out Marshall, Bungie. It was a kind of way, and I think everybody, whether they liked us or not, they felt like our generation get something.
Or they do something.
They for us
or they make an impact.
Yeah.
Or they make, regardless how short it was, an impact is bro, it's not easy.
It's not easy at all.
It's not easy. So that is why I had to commend all the fellas when all they dropped the pump and then the boy, because men was trying to big up Nebula 868 same way too. But after Nebula had a space where we was looking for somebody, as we could had sovereignty, remember sovereignty?
Yeah, big up as sovereignty as well.
It had men was trying to come after Nebula and pattern that same thing and catch a hit. And nobody really wasn't catching a hit, and when One Rod come, that was very commendable, men do the thing, and we had to give all the men all the flowers for that. But we here now.
Yeah, we here now.
And recently, well, bro, as I say, I just study the game. A man could fall off. I still studying you. Because I understand the game. So I go still watch Braveboy. If Young Rod go in the studio and do a small freestyle, I go still check it out just to see what a boy doing. Because I know all the men. So I still interested now. I've been seeing you on the grind, observing you, realizing that this man just not giving up, boy. Like, for some strange reason, no matter what, I would still see your name come up on the little Facebook, on the little Instagram for certain things, like small little details I'll just look at, wherever. And then recently, I see you drop a soca.
Boy, so I think that is interesting because remember I saw the story was saying I started off with soca.
You start off with the soca.
Whether the industry toxic or it's just not getting through, it's just like I realized I prefer hip hop because the industry more welcoming. And it more felt like me. And then you end up with EDM. But the funny thing is, all while doing EDM and thing, now I started to become part of this collective called the Flex Up Crew. So this was like people from like World Fire and a WhatsApp chat and it's like World Fire to about a bunch of like DJs in Europe, and it only had 3 vocalists. Me, I don't know who Richie Loop is. What's in markup? Right. So Richie Loop is a big EDM vocalist, and he's like one of my mentors in this thing now. So he kind of show me the game. But the producers will always ask him to do dancehall stuff, and then they would try to get me to do more soca stuff now.
Yeah, because you're from Trinidad.
Yeah, and I still want to do the dance or stuff. Like, I was like, that's not really me.
Yeah.
And I realized after a while that they like this, so I started to experiment. So I started to do my own version of soca with EDM. And it's Kes. I used to bump some. Kes is our brethren of mine from a long
Big up
time.
Kes
And
all
we
the
always,
time,
he's a
man.
real one.
Big up Kes all the time.
Yes, sir. KG Kes and me, I talk about it lives and thing, eh?
Bro.
We arguing as brethren, but we arguing. He telling me, Marcus, you are doing soca. I say, you are soca artist? He's like, you stay in your corner, I stay in my corner. But what he was saying is that all of us have it in us now.
We are all calypso.
We are all correct. And you can see it now with, I saw the episode where you say, someone Choppy best music is soca. I agree.
I don't care.
Choppy could
Red Pill vex with me. They say, oh,
No, he
don't
have
tell the
great
man
music.
that.
He have great
I
music.
don't care. Choppy is an amazing soca artist.
Freetown, they make amazing music outside of soca too. But
look what's going on now.
But I'm not saying Jimmy October, a lot of
Kutain.
Chromatics, everybody. So I think Kutain, right? So I think it took me a while to I saw okay Sunday at Pleasure Show and I said, bro, he was right.
Yeah, wow.
But it's what he saw in me now. And I think outside after EDM, right? So 2019, I made a trip to the UK because I really went all over the place when I listened to
Mike
myself.
good, right?
Yeah. I had started like drill music and UK grime.
Yeah, I was
So
seeing you, yeah.
Yes, I went London.
Dog do all kind of thing.
I went London, there's a top boy and thing that. So I
Right.
said, yeah, this is it.
Ain't it?
Yeah. And then the UK was just an interesting experience because like, how do I say, it's a kind of closed market. So it's hard to meet people and link up with people. Also, the hoods in UK is a whole different world. Right? And then UK just so diverse now.
Correct.
Yeah, watching Top Boy, that is a small part of the UK. The UK is so many different, and it's real international. It has real people from Pakistan and this and that. But I love the UK and the vibe there. So I came back from the UK saying, maybe I should, one of my best friends lives there. Let me migrate there or go there for a little while. And then the pandemic happened. And my pops I get sick. And then I had to stay here now to make sure and help take care of him and thing. And then, well, pops passed away, this during but before that, during the pandemic, all we had time, I always liked reggaeton, John. I always liked Latin music. And I started to experiment with reggaeton now, and like dembow music. And because of the style of music I was doing there, I ended up getting song signed to Zumba. And that opened up a whole different one. Now you're getting paid. So you're realizing, but wait now, like this is good money, you know? And what Zumba like soca.
Right.
So I end up kind of having to do the soca thing again too. And through my stuff with Zumba and working with those producers, I found a space with soca and pop and full circle, that where I am today. And the song you hear now is the international influence mixed with us.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Again, I was a student at the game.
Yeah.
You know? So I would observe the growth of artists, that kind of vibes.
Yeah.
I would listen to like most of your things that I would be experimenting with, you know, where some might catch me ear, some might really catch me ear, that kind of vibes.
Yeah.
But from the time I click on your soca, bro, and I hear that first melody, my eyes just squint so like, like this man catch a soca?
Yeah.
Like one time, like
Yeah.
this man catch a soca. Now, when I hear it now, my first, thought was, let me see if the people will support this.
Yeah.
Because I know how hard it is in that soca industry.
No, and I could tell you, and I want to break it down because, bro, I am just like you, I'm a student of the game.
Yeah.
And I am a fan of not just the music side, but the marketing side too.
Right.
And I just go and tell you my strategy. Because I want people to think out of the box, right? So, say exactly that. Me and Mevon, Mevon and I, Mevon and Rods are best of friends. Like, we always, whoever birthday it is, Christmas, we always, but we kind of separate it a bit creatively because it's just different directions.
Right.
But I work with this youth from Venezuela named Joel Me. So that's why the reggaeton and all that important in the conversation.
Right.
So he's my go-to producer for my international stuff.
Right.
I also kind of manage him too.
Right.
And I've never met this youth. Right? But he's so talented. He's like could be the next producer for Bad Bunny. And he likes soca too now. So last year I did a song called Carnival Connection, which was me experimenting with the soca and the Latin. I was like, damn, how I could be different in soca? I don't want to be, it's already a Marshall, it's already a Bungie, it's already a lyrical, it's already, how could I be me? And I released it and people liked it. It wasn't a hit, it wasn't, but it played. it played and I got fans from it who like that.
Who like the vibes, yeah.
So I started to think about, you know what, when Carnival come back again, I'm gonna do it again. And then I started to, KG, I watch every Soca Monarch on YouTube, from Super Blue and David Runner to Blazer Dan and thing. And I stopped at Blazer Dan. And something about what Blazer Dan was doing, where he would start with the sweet voice and go to the rough. And Blazer is similar to me, tall, Rasta man. Right. And I was like, yo, I feel this is the inspiration. Like, Treason was always my biggest inspiration, but this here,
you feel something.
I'm feeling something here, and I was going through stuff in my life too. So I took that, Joel, me produced, we did a demo, we took it to Mev. I said, Mev, I want how to do this, because Carnival Come Home was one of the references, and it really reminded me of that song. And me and Mev want to have a chemistry in studio, like, we know each other so well, Jay. Right, yeah. He really know me as an artist. So we sit down and we wrote this song together, and he knew, he's like, this could be real cool if you say this. And he really understands the local slang. Right. You see the line at the ending of the day, I know Mas had to play.
Okay.
And since then, I now start to notice everybody to say at the end of the day in interviews. Like local artists. I watch an interview with Bungie and Fiona. So I thought my radar more now. Everybody, I think even on your podcast, people say that.
True.
So I just started with this song. So the song that is the basis of the song. So we had this song on, Mevon challenged me. He was like, a warrior really challenge yourself marketing wise for this song. Now we come on from hip hop, right? 808 and Heartbreak.
Right.
You remember that album?
Kanye West.
You remember how the cover look?
Right.
It was a heart, simple.
Right.
A heart and grey.
Correct.
Right? Because we were trying to do artwork for this song. And we got some artwork, but we was like, nah. And I was like, you know what? If everybody going left, I going right. Yeah. Soca is a kind of marketing wise, a kind of cluttered genre. No? If you understand what I'm saying, you know, so nobody is very few people market minimally in Soca. Right. So I went on AI thing. We talk AI. Big up
the AI boss on them.
Big up the AI boss on them, right? And I input Kanye album and I say, can you turn this into Trinidad Carnival, put some feathers, put some beads, and kind of thing. And the artwork people had see on social media, I edited it and that kind of thing, and that started interest in the song. Because it was at a point where, what I learned too last year, it have groovy and it have power. And it have, everybody just drop groovy early, and power is for to do a power song, like properly like a power hit or a road march. It have groovy, it has some mid-tempo, it have power and it have road march.
Power.
Yeah.
Marshall.
The road march contenders is the elite few.
Correct.
And most people are afraid to step in that zone.
Definitely.
So we decided to release it at a time where people kind of starting to I realized my man on the ground too. I kept on hearing people saying, God, this groovy thing, I fed up with just groovy thing, sweet, right? Yeah. So we kind of released it at a time where it was groovy stuff playing, but people wanted something different. Right. So for like 2 weeks, it had nothing. I get lucky too. Because it's planned things, but as luck would have it, some of the bigger artists took a little longer to release stuff.
True.
So for 2 weeks, bro, I just marketed the hell out of it on social media.
Jeez.
I tell you, I get in the game here. You had to invest, right?
Right.
The first time I ever tried the TikTok ads.
Right.
Little boost, little 5 US, little thing here and there.
Yeah.
On Instagram, same thing.
Yeah.
And how I testing it is I'm going out a little more. It's Christmas time. I'm going shopping anymore. I'm going in the pharmacy. They go. And everywhere I go, somebody who I don't know saying, I see you on TikTok. That's thing. And that's how I know that is work.
Like I think I saw it on TikTok for the first time too. Yeah.
So and then the radio Squad started to play it, and 96.1 started to play it, and then Slam started. And I remember from hip hop, great relationships too now.
Yeah.
So I have good relationships with the stations and stuff where I'll get interviewed, they'll play this song once, I might never enter again. It is what it is, right? Right.
Yeah.
But I was able to still utilize that, and it's early, so most artists didn't drop yet. And bro, we get through the radio, so you was hearing it on the radio and then on social media. And then through my social media, well, I'm affiliated with Optometrist today, right? So we had an idea to do something. Now, of course, as a company, they wanted to support me, right? I've been there with them for so many years. And we was like, TV too. So we found a strategy for TV. So it's almost like you kind of hit different. Now, I could do that maybe at my age and with my connections and I think, but I just telling younger artists, think strategy, you know.
Of course.
When soca really is the hardest genre to break into.
Sure.
I'm very lucky, I know, I'm not saying that you could do this exact
No,
thing
but
and get through,
if I had to be real with you,
Yeah.
as much as the strategy work,
Yeah.
the song is such a
and
good
anything that
song.
is undeniable, like this one.
It is
yeah,
undeniable.
it
The
is
melody
undeniable.
is on point.
You know, I didn't hear one person yet say this song is shit.
It's shit.
Because there's always a haters.
I tell you,
people who
no,
might take to
me like me for instance.
Yeah,
I am the type of soca fan I am.
yeah.
The song had to be undeniable.
Yeah,
I don't listen every soca.
No one has
I'm not that kind of man.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So if that song is real bad, I
Yeah.
just want them to say that shit.
Yeah.
Your name can be Marshall, Bungie, I don't care.
Yeah.
I judging you hard.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
first time I click on your song, bro, 'cause I don't even look at you as a soca artist.
No, I don't think
so I
anybody does.
judging you even harder.
Like this hip hop man, what I sing.
Makadi, you understand? What is this?
Yeah.
And I click on it, bro, and I hear that nice little melody,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and your tone. And the lyrical content, everything, and the way how the music rise, and
Yeah,
it was perfect to me. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I could have take off that song now and say, all right, let me see what going on with this.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
the soca group of them fellas and them, you know,
Yeah.
and everybody in the group, that group
Nah.
real hard too. Them
People
real
say-
hard on men
people
saying
who
me
in the
too.
group message and man call and say,
Yeah.
saying they begging you up in the
Nah,
group.
men in the group are saying, this
Yeah.
is too nice. It's too
Nah,
nice.
nah.
It's too nice.
And I think
You know?
too, you know, similar to Teja, people like to see somebody they know really work hard over
Work
the
hard
years and
and
never
yeah.
burn no bridges, never nothing
True.
get through now, you know.
True.
So far the love has been great for the song. And it's been interesting and I can speak on different sides of it. Performance soca and see next thing was the performance too, right? So performance soca. Well I know you dabble in soca too.
Yeah, I was in soca stand.
Bro, yeah, I know you from Soca Star to Synergy, right?
Yeah.
And bro, is a
It's
whole
a different world.
different rules. So you can like conditioning yourself and
Correct.
I've always I perform on big stages away and thing, but
It's a so like that. Your belly hurting you.
Yeah.
You feel like what going dead on the stage. Huh?
so I think that was the next thing that people were saying. He have a real bad song.
Yeah,
but could he perform it?
Could he push his
And
song?
then very big up Teja. I mean I did some warm up. My DJ for the season is Island Song, boy. Big up Island Song, boy. He really took me under his wing in terms of the corporate. You know, I learned too, right? For Christmas, before Carnival, there's a circuit of corporate Christmas gigs.
Right.
Where artists perform for so-and-so Christmas party, so-and-so. And that is you can make some money from that, right? But the upcoming artists don't really do those. They cannot go straight to Carnival now.
Right.
They might look where it have a pavement line, where it have a...
Right.
But if you know somebody working for a Christmas party, you might get a blind, right?
Right,
So I went and I worked about 3 or 4 or 5 events. And that was like my warm-up performance to get my feet in. And my first big performance was Teja with the band and thing. Now.
Ah, boy.
And yeah, bro, I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Still nervous?
What? I haven't been nervous to perform in public like this nervous in about 8 years.
Right.
But it's almost, remember, soca is that thing you never, it's so hard to get through. And it's like, it come like all eyes on you. It's like a championship game.
Yeah, because people want to know.
And it's the first game of the season.
Right, that
And
kind of
everybody, the whole country, not the whole country, but that's how you feel now.
Yeah.
And bro, well, and we had one rehearsal. And it was like a quick rehearsal. And I recorded it and I practiced in it at home. And Tej had given me like a few bars. He said, I will just sell the song in these few bars.
Right.
And before I just accustomed, if you're from Trinidad, I had to come a little, because Teja's crowd is a little more, how to say, like a kind of Freetown David Weather crowd.
Right.
It mix.
Yeah,
It mix.
right,
It's
yeah.
more, you know, it's a kind of older crowd too.
Yeah.
The young people like us, but sometimes I'm a mature
Yeah, I feel
audience.
you, yeah.
So I had to do something a little different from what I usually do. So I'm practicing this thing, and you know, I started feeling nervous, and they forget, you know what you're saying, and they're thinking, hey, I can't mess this up because what I'm saying is so poetic.
Right.
Bro, I just remember being backstage and trying to rest my... I know everybody too.
Right.
So I kind of had to be backstage and kind of hide that because that affecting your voice when you're singing too.
Right.
And Teja say, Braveboy. And I walk on stage and I'm feeling nervous. And I just close my eyes and I open my eyes and I say, I can sing. And I look up, bro. and I see a girl, her boyfriend hugging her,
Yeah.
and she watching me dead in my eyes, singing the song to me,
Yeah.
word for word.
She love it.
And then I walk to the, you're moving right, I say all right, and I move to the left, and I see our next girl watching me straight in my eyes, singing the song word for word. And the next girl there, and I realize a couple singing, and I realize, but wait now,
This
people
too,
know the song,
people
and
know
that
the
when
song.
it just kind of hit me out a little more,
Yeah, the
bro, you
confidence,
do
it-
this, like
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
just a different version of
True,
yourself.
true.
And yeah, bro, that,
Yeah.
it was a moment, but I share it because a lot of artists really talk about these things now. Everybody cool and everybody,
True.
but
True.
that was a different experience for me going from hip hop to soca. But and then the road march conversation real well too, because I would have never think in my life
So men pioneer in the conversation.
any conversation. Yeah, from jump there. But I just kind of
No, it's true, I really, yes,
yeah,
I really
me and
see
Mel
that.
was like, we don't want to put that. Let me just release a good
yeah,
song.
do the thing.
But bro, it are people who say, no, I mean, I'm not getting caught up in that. To me, we say, I was telling people, I think the song is a win already. In terms of what it's going to do for my career, what it has done already. And just you make some dope and people like it. But, you know, in our race, and it's like people expecting you to try.
Of course, no, you gotta
So,
go. Yeah,
you gotta go all out. So,
yeah.
and I'm going against people who I look up to, who is like the Messi and
Of course.
So it's very interesting. I learned a lot about soca. Soca is not that I thought soca was easy, but it's judge a bit coming from other genres where you're like, oh god, these soca artists have whole year to write and they were right.
Yeah.
But writing a soca hit is not easy.
I think soca is the hardest genre.
It's the
music to
hardest.
write. As always
'Cause,
say,
yeah.
it's the hardest genre of music to write.
And it's what connects with people now. And I think, luckily for me, is like everybody real going through something right now in the world. And,
True.
and my song was the only song, I think, this year that hit a kind of emotional nerve. Right?
Yeah,
more
I
than a carnival emotional nerve. There are people in the gospel, like gospel people and church people messaging me to say, they love the song. Like they don't listen. I book for church pattern.
Yeah. How that kind
I
of
tell you that I get calls from churches, from like nuns and things, right? Saying, hey, I will hear if you could come and perform.
Right.
Schools, you know, there's a song that, you know, vulgar. I say jam and wine and thing, but not vulgar per se. And it touch a nerve and it is a lesson to all of us. We all have a song like this in us, at least one.
Yeah.
At least whatever your vision is, right?
Yeah, I
And
feel you.
you had to dig deep, man. You might have to go through something in your life.
Yeah.
But
So let me ask you a question. As a man who been through the journey and try so many different things and whatnot, right?
yeah.
Obviously, it would have times where you would feel underrated, and as we were talking about earlier, everybody want that love from home, you know.
Yeah.
So you had to really go out there and branch out to really, how to put it, like really hold your career together. Basically, you knew if it's not working here, I had to find other lanes, right?
Yeah.
So you probably had times where you would sit with yourself and be like, you know, like why I know. Like, why this thing not really working out for me since probably the Nah Boy or the Pumping or
for
whatever
sure,
the scene
for
was,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
The fight down word might come into your head, all these different things. Did this song change your perspective?
That's a very good question. The truth is, when I go out there, everybody's be like, Marcus is so talented, Braveboy is so talented, like you need to migrate.
Right,
I'm
correct.
telling you, everybody I meet, like I have worked,
Trinidad too small for you,
bro,
boy.
I have worked with some big producers in the worlds I'm in now, right? And it's like people who you see on TV and thing, I've been in those studios, and those people are telling me I am talented. And then it's home, it's kind of like,
Men sleeping on your vibes. Yeah.
But then you realize there's different markets too, so you can't really. That's how I got kind of mental clearance regarding that, because it's going to take. I've been in some dark places in this because of the industry and thing.
Yeah.
But it's like you're going out there and people love you. Like I have fans all over the world, right? And they are telling. I have people who taking the time and doing dance videos and
Right.
you know, but. It's a different kind of feeling when you're hometown, like, you know.
Of course.
And when you're home, and I experienced it before with
When you
Nah
could walk
Boy.
out in the streets and
Yeah.
people could walk up
But
to you. And,
people are really rooting for my jet.
Right.
And it's like, not just for like friends, it's like people.
Yeah, just
and
people,
like
yeah.
not the industry too.
Right.
And I think it's overwhelming because Still living in the pay bills, you still have all in this and where you can't get in trouble. You know? I talking really hard, so
be real.
you have to
In the midst of the happiness, it's still
of course,
the
you're
gap.
making time for your girl, you're making
Right.
time for your family, you're making time for this, right? But I would say that being accepted away gave me a kind of space where my confidence wasn't broken.
Right.
Because this industry, I see it break real people confidence, bro.
Of course.
But thankfully, the love I got outside kept me going and kept me confident.
The respect.
Yeah,
that
the
you got
respect
from your
outside is
peers
like,
and-
you gotta keep going. Like, you have all these, but it is a great feeling. This feeling right now is great.
yeah, and you have things to look forward to.
But I know that you could be hot today or not. So
Right.
you had to just...
So that and all is another piece of trust. to the
because,
thing too.
you know, well, the truth is I still do my international stuff, right? So it's like, even with all this, I have producers messaging me, say, yo, when you going to do the next Zumba thing? Or I linked up with a real big idiot.
But that is another thing too, right?
Yeah.
And we can get into that now, as the
Yeah.
sense of, I remember I used to always say, because I do all different genres of music, right?
Yeah.
Hip hop, dancehall, reggae, soca, I was a soca star. And I used to always say, what would be so sad is if KG bust with a soca. Because I knew that I didn't want to be a soca artist.
Yeah.
I want to be probably a dancehall artist or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And then let's just say one day I try a soca.
And that is
that
the
is the
thing.
song that bust the gate.
And you're now known as a soca.
Now you're known as a soca
And that
artist.
was my fear for years, bro.
And my fear too.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, seeing you going through that now, I know
Yeah.
you just said that, you know, I still do international stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the reality is,
Yeah.
the industry do not want you to do that.
I could say, so I think I might be wrong, right? But I think I found a sweet spot because some of the international stuff I was doing, I do a dembow song, I do a reggaeton song, and people was vibe, like, it's not from when they post them on social media.
Right.
Cricket,
Yeah,
right?
or track.
Or it have people be like, yo, like, again, some messages and shares and things.
Yeah.
So I think there's a version of me as an artist in the international market that I kind of applying soca to other genres. I think that the country could appreciate it. Not everybody would love it, but they could
You
kind of...
think or you know? Because remember, there's
Yeah.
a new chapter.
There's a new chapter, no, for sure, but I see a path where how it have Sean Paul, Shaggy, etc.
Right.
I could be that version for Trinidad.
Right.
That comes with now Sean Paul and Shaggy, you know, the ground in Jamaica.
Right.
And it's not the most popular
Right.
artist in terms of people not listening to
True,
Sean Paul
true,
and Shaggy.
true.
But they respect them.
But they still have value.
Yeah. And I was ready for that because at the end of the day,
So that's where you see yourself, basically.
for sure, but I think I could be one of the people to cross over soca because I really have a wealth of knowledge of the global market.
Right.
And I would love to be in the rooms with like the big artists and, you know, maybe it might take this for them to respect me enough to listen to what I'm saying or be open to talking to me about ideas and things. But that journey can't stop, bro.
Yeah, boy.
Like it goes back to what I was saying is like when I was 19 and I have a red girl and I'm a thing, I thought that was life.
thought that was it, yeah.
It's a whole world out there, and I think that I'm loving all of this right now. And this is a chapter, this is a part of this chapter. And this too, you know, my father always wanted me to sing calypso and soca too. So it have that sentimental. But I could do this every year. I could sing a soca every year and deliver. But for the rest of the year, I could maybe tour the soca song, but I still need to do these other things. I love all kind of music.
But let's just say
yeah,
this chapter starts to grow.
yeah.
You know, Braveboy is this man with this sweet soca.
Yeah.
You know, you start to collab with Kes and you this and you all kind of things you have to do now. You know, Tej, I'm bringing out on the stage all the time. You're growing as a soca artist.
Yeah.
How are you going to balance? Because I watched an interview with Marshall and he was speaking about when he signed the record deal with Atlantic and he was saying that they didn't really understand what to do with him because they wanted him to do this R&B type of style, but he knew that to really, quote unquote, this wasn't his exact words, but I guess he was trying to say for him to really be Marshall, he had to stay rooted to what was soca. Now you come with this rooted soca and it connect. You know?
Well, I think that
so to leave that now, to go back to that now, may be a problem.
It's how you see it, eh?
Right.
Now, I think, I don't want to say I hack the system, right?
Right.
But in a way, I figured out a way to bring a specific type of pop. Like
a song.
the beginning of the song, bro.
So you wouldn't really look at it like hardcore calypso, you will still look at it like you put your own twist.
Yeah, right? So
Yeah,
it come like, alright, the beginning of the song. If I didn't use the word carnival, if I say just to tell you that Samantha,
Right.
you would have said that. So if you just heard that part, you would have said that before the rest of the song.
Not necessarily.
What you say?
Because I think is what you're saying in the song also give it
Right.
that.
So that's what I learned with music,
Yeah.
right? What is soca?
That's a good question.
What is soca? Right?
Well, I think
Yeah.
soca have a sound.
What is the sound of soca? I can tell the song a dance all.
Right.
The song
and the song of soca supposed to be kitting, supposed to be,
But
I
then
guess.
when you look back, it had H2O flow,
Right.
it had treason, it had Ataclan, it had the whole Raga Soca movement, then it had Isaac Blackman.
Yeah. Even when it's like voice far from finish. and all
Correct,
these
right?
things,
And then it have, I saw an interview where KMC was saying them was doing dance on calling it soca.
And calling it soca, yeah.
But they got it's like a cheat code, right?
Right.
So I think I kind of figured out a way to, and I think I can't take credit for it, but in my universe, I think even with Mevon's production, he found a way to mesh, and Marshall with Paddy and the Come Home with it's pop,
Right.
but it's also authentic. And
There's
I think
a new generation of soca. basically.
yeah, so it's like within that, I think it's a sweet spot for me personally. I could be wrong. You could be right. I could be wrong too.
No, I feel it.
But it's more like I feel like I found a way where I could do this. But then throughout the year, now I'd be more careful what I drop during the year. So to answer your question, yes.
might have to make a
this now,
little-
as a man who
Like I
like
say, it's a new.
I just
you don't know, you
Bro,
know.
I get that. I just go to the studio once a month and record 4 songs a month.
Yeah.
Right? I love to make music now.
Yeah.
Right? And I just release everything. Right? Most things I work on. Now I had to be more careful. It had to be on brand. Like it had to be.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, cause you want a man to fall in love with your song,
And then next day I say,
and then
yo,
you sing something else,
Yeah.
and be like, but I'm even going to listen to his third
Correct.
song because
Okay,
I don't understand
fan
what
base,
going
right?
on. Yeah, a fan
but
base.
I
correct.
think within that, I actually do like experimenting with soca. But I also want to do different things within soca, even calypso too.
Right.
So like with Freetown, I love what Freetown doing. They're doing their
Same
own
type
version.
of vibes, right?
Full blown. Love
Full
what
blown,
love
same
what
type
full
of
blown.
vibes,
doing.
yeah.
So I think for me it's a challenge, but I do see a lane here where I could still do my international stuff and still do this. I don't know if I could rap again.
True.
That is
I
where.
would think, I would think I can rap again.
Yeah,
I think
I
that
don't
is
think I could, and it's an age thing too where
I mean, not wrong with that.
I love hip hop, but I don't feel I'm not the same person I was
true.
when I was singing now.
True.
Like I went through so much in my life that I don't even want to go out.
yeah.
But I say I'm so tired from doing everything
Yeah,
I
like, be
do.
real.
I want to watch Netflix,
I
bro.
can't even stand up in a party for 1 2 hours,
Yeah,
bro.
so-
My foot hurting me, man.
But if it's the man who sang pumping, that is the next thing too.
Yeah.
But after singing pumping, I have to be everywhere, you know, because
Yeah.
people, I used to be,
pumping.
if I say no in a club, people say, but you see man who
Yeah,
sing
you
pumping, you say no.
pumping, yeah.
So that's a real good question. But for now, I think that there's a sweet spot here
Yeah.
where I could love on the road is in line with, I don't know if you ever heard a song from me called Big Man No Cry. I did a kind of more emotional album where it was like just songs from my dad passed away and I wanted to
Right.
just speak from the heart.
Right.
To me, that is the same artist.
Right.
Is right. So I feel like there is a sweet spot there.
Yeah.
But we have a great point. Can soca be open enough to accept?
To accept
Yeah.
an artist because we don't necessarily see it.
You don't see it because even like
no.
Nyla has some dope
she has
projects
tried.
outside of
Yeah, she's tried.
Kes, Freetown.
Yeah.
Right. Freetown to me, their music is on a whole different level.
Every time I have a lane.
They have a lane, but the
Yeah.
soca fans don't listen to the other stuff
Correct.
like
Yeah.
they listen. Not that they don't listen at
But
all.
the Bill are tremendous fan base.
They have a fan base.
Yeah.
So it's not my figuring out, but this feels like me.
I feel yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm being somebody I'm not.
Right.
And I think that I'm comfortable with that.
You find a balance.
Yeah,
basically.
because if I was, and I say it's an interesting conversation because even in performing, I have people now, you know, so the next thing I have to say, when you're in this conversation for a road match, every day about 20 people messaging me with suggestions. Boy, you know, you need to
should do
wine
this,
on
you should
stage.
do that,
You need
yeah.
to do that. And I had to actually think about it the other day after the thing. I was like, do I want to wine on stage, right? Like, I don't feel like that is
So
why
it's
I'm
a real thing. And I was say like if I did bust as a soca
Yeah,
artist,
yeah, yeah,
I would
yeah.
have X. Because
You know,
imagine
kinda-
you're a dancehall artist, right?
Yeah.
And you trying to be a gangster. I just make an example. You know, you should be bad man thing. And then you bust at a soca artist and now you have to whine on the stage. So how you go and go back to pretending that bad man don't dance? So all genres of music have a swag and a
yeah. And I think, and it's a live experiment. We could probably see it in my performances, but I didn't know that mentally where I'm doing what's comfortable with me, but I still have to like, this is no, but when I think about it, KG, you just come on the road, I see you on the road for carnival.
Of course.
So when soca music played, it'll be whining and they do. So I know there now where I'm still training that. So it should be okay to present this, to be that, but then it's like, once you start that, it opens up Pandora's box.
Of course.
There's no wine away.
Every action have a reaction.
Yeah. But I there now, but I would love to bring something different to soca with my style. I still haven't fully figured it out live right now in terms of figuring it out, but it's touching a nerve with people. People are very supportive of the song. And I think that is, and I celebrate in the win. And the win I mean is the little wins of you create some dope and people like it. It's only positive vibes so far. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out.
So, our next question after.
Sure.
So, as a man who had all this experience with marketing and seeing the world and all these different things, you know, like we always hear in these conversations, especially around carnival time, about like soca dying and this and that, and the youths not gravitating towards the soca, and the Meds Boss had the biggest song, and all kind of kicks and talk all over the place, right? I want to hear your perspective now on what do you think the soca industry is lacking at this time?
I would say structure, especially on the business side, but more so, I wish we had like labels and like real labels who could develop. I think it's missing a lot of development. I think a lot of young artists have a lot of talented young artists, because I've been to 18 Band Room, they have a series. I was on Young Brother, We Inside last night. I was so I'm meeting the upcoming artists, and so
upcoming.
They have some really talented people. But soca don't really have a, how they say it, like you can't get signed to a label and they develop here, and every year they do have like 3 or 4 artists who get signed by a few labels, and everybody just kind of figure it out and hope Marshall can happen them, right? That's the reality. So I wish that we had more development for the younger artists. I was talking to Mevon about that too. I think Mevon is gifted in terms of being able to
work with
artists period, and these are people person. So he able to see who you are as a person and present you in a way that you're comfortable. And I think that is one of his gifts, right? I think that is needed. I think there's a disconnect too in terms of mentorship where so what we need another synergy soca star. Right? But then Rome did that last year. And they did a great job, and Paris Coute, I met Paris Coute there, very talented, cool youth. And I feel like that is what we need, but then they don't have the corporate government sponsorship. Cause I don't know if that happening this year. And maybe it's because of that, I don't know. But that was missing for sure. And just structure in terms of like something, is how to say it, is like the connectors missing. Like somebody who could take raw talent, even Young Brother and them. It took Optimus seeing something and being like, I see talent in these guys, and he invested in them.
Of course.
And I think that the youths don't really have, and it's hard, right? Like soca, every time, like I can tell you, it's like you still, you gotta wear different clothes, you gotta go down south, and you gotta go here. I went to Bago to promote this. All these things cost money. So I could only imagine a youth who, you know, like really really working for much money or whatever, and it's hard. But I think that is what I'm missing. I know that they have little, Marshall has his monk music, which is, I think, is an initiative. Marshall also had Patrice and Zan and them, so it's been done before. But I wish more artists would kind of. That what I know you does well talk about that.
But I personally think that is the.
But what I could say.
That is what it needs. Mentorship.
Now being in it a bit, now this is just 2 months, right? But being in it for 2 months so far is a whole different one. I think being on the other side of the table now is like, you kind of, there's a lot of pressure and a lot of things happening real fast. So let me say, I have to do this again next year, and I have to help a younger artist come under me. It's so much I try to organize every day.
Because your season is so short.
Yeah, and it's so many moving parts now because you had to have the song first, market the song, then I do the radio run, the TV run, then even getting gigs is a thing. Cause I have, like you say, I have a hit song. People say it's a hit song. It's only now I get the calls from promoters.
Right. I what do you mean now as in?
Since Teja
Since they dropped
performance
the song,
and
right.
since Teja performance, I would say the bookings starting to roll in a lot more now.
Right.
And again, the calls. But before that, it was a kind of everybody tells me, "But your song bad, your song bad."
Well, the song had to grow basically.
Yeah. But then imagine doing that for yourself.
Yeah.
And you're not even guaranteed.
Yeah,
And then you have to do that for youth.
Every year you had to do that too.
And I look, because Sherwin was on Young Brother show last night, and Sherwin performed about 40 songs.
Yeah.
And all his hits, right? I say like 20 songs, all his hits. And it's like somebody like Sherwin, you just watch him and you're like, yo, why in this industry the veterans can't just tour off the catalog? Because in other tour off the catalog. So for example, like what's Bounty last hit?
But he still booked.
Was Beanie was kind of bell muck, but was them fellas? But them fellas could tour Europe, could tour. I feel like
just off a legacy.
If it's what you did for me yesterday. That is the soca industry, and that's real hard. So I think being in these guys' positions and women's positions is like it's so much pressure to be relevant in a short period of time. I don't think they have the mental and team capacity to really bring up somebody else unless they kind of decide, okay, I am retiring.
I have to take a step back.
Yeah, and remember, men have the more money you make, the more expensive your lifestyle is.
True.
Right? Men have kids, men have kids in universities and things, right? So I try to look at it from different sides of the table, but to the youth who coming into the industry, it's hard.
They're looking for a strength now.
And I wish I could. That was kicking some of this knowledge. Not saying my strategy will work for you. I am somebody who has been networking since I'm 12. Right? But at the same time, it might help. If you really have something special, like you have a song that's undeniable, at least the right person might hear it.
Yeah.
So that is my thing. But it's hard, bro.
Yeah,
This
definitely
soca
hard.
thing,
Yeah.
but I learning a lot, and I have is a double-edged sword because I have a lot more respect for what these soca artists had to go through, because mentally is a lot too. It's a lot you're dealing with every day, and you still have to have your life. You know, you're still a human being dealing with life, but you have all this talk. And I say the road march conversation is really people like you're going everywhere. And people say, "Boy, you're going for them, boy. You're going," and you studied your my car, my gasket blow, my gasket blow. I
have to take it up here.
I have to take it up here, right? And that is how real life is. So I don't know what is the solution for soca. And I say I am not the person to talk about it. In my 2 months in it, I have most inexperienced soca artists, right, who on this level right now.
Yeah.
But I think the older artists doing this is the solution. But the problem is it's real hard for them to do that.
It's hard for them too.
It's hard.
As big as they might look.
Yeah, because I use the examples like I look at a man like Sean is so talented, you know, and it's like he has songs out now, but it's not he deserved. There's so many artists I think Fireball like who when you think about what they've done, it's like yo these men put Trinidad on the map, but we don't have the soca industry. It's not an industry where we can tour off a catalog. I think that is probably the thing I would say I wish they had more of, where it could have a top tier cast where it's like the Marshall, the Kess, the Bungie, the Destra, etc. Voice, whoever, right? Kesha, etc. But then it could have a different kind of show where it's like these were the guys who had the hits in the 90s and it's for an older audience. It's a grown and sexy soca. So it's smaller crowd, maybe a crowd of 100 people in the UK or something. But you bring these, So I just saying that.
I think that we all have a part to play.
We
just try to blame one corner of the thing, or you might try to blame the DJs, or you know, but when you really think about the hypes, like exactly like what you now say there, right?
Yeah.
Even the promoters have a part to play.
Yeah.
Even the fans, like say for instance, like at KMC. As blacklist as they try to make KMC seem. When KMC out on that stage, a shell, a treason come back together.
No,
and out on that stage, a shell.
I know
If Sunel them start run out of
if she sing River, if she
Hey,
sing River.
Shell!
Alison
So,
Hines.
so I think that we as a people too
Yeah.
had a love we self more.
Are you you half Bajan, right?
Yeah.
Edwin Yearwood.
Edwin Yearwood.
Bro, I watching Edwin
Crossfire.
Yearwood. Huge fan of Edwin Yearwood. And
Yeah.
it's like, that man, like, as a performer, he could shell down.
Anyway, bro.
Chris Garcia.
Anyway.
Chris Garcia shell down.
Most of our legacy
Ronnie
acts,
McIntosh.
yeah, like even when you look at our reggae artists and all, you bring Jam Melody, you bring Ice Sasha,
Yeah.
you bring Prophet Benjamin, all these men who, quote unquote, not. I think that Trinidad have a lot to offer, so we all have our part to play.
But then, think about the promoter side, right?
Yeah.
Because I have brethren who's promoters too.
Right.
I have been a promoter already, and I do a lot of club nights and small events. You had to invest, you had to do so much. You're putting yourself at risk as a promoter.
Right.
And it's about how many people come to the party.
Definitely.
Right? So the question is, who have the hot song now and what? Now the radio is usually the machine for soca here. Social media better than boys. We're playing on the radio.
Yeah.
So if your song not consistently playing on the radio and people don't, and I say it like this to mask, like, you know, they play the same 10 songs in the band. I was having a discussion with a friend the other day. When you drunk and you don't really have time to learn all the news.
Of course,
as a masquerader, I'm not saying
you want the hits, you want the hits.
you just want to hear that one song and hear more
You
one
want to know
song.
what,
Right?
yeah, they be real.
So the promoters catering for the fat goers, and it's our business. Remember, just like I mentioned, these big artists, the promoters have families, they have care in the university, right? So if it is, I'm just using these guys as examples, right? But let me say, Voice have a hit this year, but KMC, we know he could shell on a crowd, but he may not have a hit this year. If they put KMC on a flyer, this is how I'm guessing they may think.
Right, yeah.
They don't know if they guarantee to get
the
200. But when people in the come to the party and they're like, oh yeah, boy, KMC, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a weird, it's a lot happening. It's a very complicated industry.
It is.
There's no, and I think we have to think about each. I would love to have a discussion with everybody. And because everybody.
I mean,
have
we
a
could go so deep into the
Yeah.
conversation because I also look at it as if we want to see something grow, we also have to take risks.
Yeah, the take risks. No,
yeah,
and I think few, because promoters have, remember, especially this year, this year we have what's going on with Venezuela and the USA, and we kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Then it have the alcohol prices rising. Promoters, because of the alcohol prices, their profits kind of cut already. And then because of the stuff going on in the political climate, it have a lot of people not flying in for Carnival, cancel the tickets, or people just afraid to go, and then the economy too, remember?
Of course.
So it come like they're willing to, it's like they know, I put this one, and this one on the cast, it guaranteed. They're not willing to take risks because it already is such a big risk to throw a big, 'cause I know people who lose hundreds or thousands of dollars.
Of events.
Yeah, like events is a different kind of money.
It's like a lotto.
Yeah.
One night, all your money gone.
So it come like, I have a promoter, Brethren, who told me that last year. He's like, bro, your song is a hit. Like, but I can ask my business partners to take a chance on an artist who have one song and it's not even a hit, you know, like in like.
But that's just the financial part.
Yeah.
You could, a man can run for free.
No, it have that going on. It have that going on.
A man can, because I don't think it is about paying a man, but like I look at it like, just let the man run.
So I learned it have the top tier artists who, somebody told me this yesterday, right? He said it have 3 types of songs. It have good songs that on the radio. Well, for soca, it have good songs. It have songs that real playing on the radio, and it have songs that will get booked.
Right.
And that's an interesting perspective, right?
Definitely.
And the songs that the last category is based on how known you are. Because it's harder for a younger artist, like they say, like myself. I have a song that real playing on the radio, but it not guaranteed me in category 3, because I'm not known as the other guy. And I think it's a lot of hype too, where people is, if they see Keso Bunji drop a song, a fan of soca gets so excited because they're familiar with this name. Rather than take a chance, we don't have a take a chance. You have to pong something in somebody's head for them to be like, you know what? This song really good, you know. And it's so short. And remember, it's at the Carnival fanatics, but then most people don't really switch into Carnival until now.
True.
And think about how short the season is.
True.
So that was it real complicated, but that's why I think that we just talk soca. Why soca can happen throughout the year. Why it can have soca that is more like chill, like a more chill version, not about carnival.
Yeah.
And we have soca events. Have like Pillar One Prosecco is a good event. Like they could have Pillar One Prosecco throughout the year, and they could book artists like Jimmy and who.
But
their
do
soca
you think?
different.
But
Yeah.
do you think that if they throw fest during the year, because I personally believe if they do throw fest during the year, it will be well received.
I think so.
I
People
don't
love
think
the party,
like
we love the party,
yeah,
right?
you put
Yeah.
Marshall Bungie and Kes on a show during the. I mean, people who not into the soca thing
Yeah.
might not go, but I think that soca lovers already make up a huge part.
Oh, for sure. A perfect
fetting
example,
and, you know, all these
Young
things.
Brother and Lady Lover.
Right.
They are two perfect examples of artists who are. I consider, because you asked me the question about having 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Those are two great examples.
True,
Right?
true,
They're
true,
doing
true,
it,
true.
eh?
True, true, true,
Now, I
true.
might be going extreme with like international
Yeah,
pop and
EDM
thing,
and, yeah,
but I
yeah.
have a lot of respect for them too because Young Brother has been booked for everything.
But I mean, Young Brother, he do this yes again, eh? Do he?
I mean,
Not really. Yeah.
I mean, the series he does keeps him relevant.
Very true.
They have a smart business model, but
Yeah,
Lady
correct.
Lava,
But Lady Lava, yeah.
Lava does do a lot of different things. So,
Yeah.
it's interesting. But then you see young artists, you could drop something throughout the because soca plays a lot more during the year than before, right? If I had to give an artist advice, I would say, if you really think you have a hit, drop it in the middle of the year.
Right.
And just
I agree.
find those events and kind of hype it around. You know, when it have the countdown to Carnival or it have Tobago Carnival is the next thing, and I mentioned that.
Yeah.
I would say,
vibe.
I would tell artists, like young artists, your release time should be building up to Tobago Carnival.
Right.
You might be able to get into Tobago Carnival quicker than Trinidad Carnival as an artist just because it already have new music around them. So DJs might be more open, you know, though.
Right.
But I think about the DJ perspective to have a real person who's DJ.
Yeah.
I just get real emails and I'm not even a DJ.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
So it come like a DJ cannot sort through all that
yeah.
and put it into a set, and they might like a song, but it mightn't fit into the set.
Definitely.
So there's a lot of different moving parts on the industry. I think because it's so seasonal, that is the weakness of it. But it also is also the kind of greatness of it in terms of we wait all year for this. It's this anticipation. People just cry.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing, and I think I have been. I know Carnival as a masquerader. I know Carnival. I was in some of the bigger artists behind the scenes camp, so I was able to see, like, as a social media guy. Now as an artist, I was able to kind of say, or just as somebody who in the industry backstage all the time, and you see all this, you're like, why good, I glad I'm in that.
Yeah.
Now in that, so to me, it have so many moving parts. It's very complicated.
Yeah.
But it's a, how do I say it? It's a part of our culture that it's like this, but it doesn't build the industry.
Right.
But it's at the same time, it's like I compare it to an athlete training for a season. That's what it just feel like. And there's a kind of greatness of that.
Mike's running.
Yeah, no, there's a kind of greatness to that in terms of the whole community behind you, and
I feel
that's I starting to see that side of it where people really love Carnival.
But
like,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know, but the conversation that people because I have two sides to the coin too, where I look at it like exactly like what you're saying. Like I say, you know, people be like, we need to take soca to the Grammys, and I might agree with that, but I also have a perspective in my head like, why? Why soca can't just be
soca
what it is?
And I think that is where
it's seasonal.
It's very complicated.
You know?
And I want to ask you, what is soca now? Because
Yeah.
a mentor of mine told, and he was one of the biggest soca producers back in the day. He was like, what is soca? Because soca can't be fully defined just yet. And I have seen it in the international market where I will play soca for people and they'll be like, this is not dancehall. But they'll be like, this is not Afrobeat. And then when they try to explain the difference, you and all side will be like, wait, what is the difference? And that is the thing. So I think, and next
But
thing,
Rashoti, I say soca was.
and that is the thing. It have Rashoti, and then it have people who say Rashoti, I
He
didn't
did
invent
not
it.
invent
Somebody
it.
else.
It has so many different conversations.
And that is
Like the next
it's
part
a
now.
very complicated genre.
Yeah, you feel it. Yeah.
And I don't know what the solution is.
Right.
But I do think, and I see, how I was able to do this, I started to see soca as a genre like every other genre, and it's like, I would love to see a sad soca. I would love to see. To me, it's music now. So it's like, where you sing on it. So that's why I feel like, okay, I started off sad. Like I could, but then I turn it into, and that is my one influence in terms of, Hadi and then Hadi day. Can you basically say that you're sad over this girl, right? But at the end of the day, right? Man sad of play. And that is us too, you know, which might be a toxic thing too, because instead of good
Music is music.
You think, right?
Music. If I had to ask you a question right now, what is dancehall?
And well, dancehall get complicated too, because there's trap dancehall.
Right.
There's,
you know,
but
if I had to ask you, what is hip hop?
Yeah.
What is rap?
Yeah, and
then you
young boy
compare
is not
the
what
young boy
is not
to
what Tupac is.
Correct. So
And
it's like
things always evolve, but alright. Beyond the music, there's culture, right? Hip hop culture. You could do hip hop every day by the way you dress, by the way you know. You could do dancehall every day.
Right. So you're going in a conversation of culture. Now.
Culture, right?
I like why you're going into that,
Right.
because we can end up with this topic.
It's
a very important
It's a good
topic.
But with soca, similar to EDM, it's festival connected. So yes, you can listen to soca outside of carnival.
Right.
But when you feel soca the most is within a festival. Similar to I've attended EDM festival. It's a whole, you would love EDM. But if you go ultra, you would, I telling you, even if you like EDM or not, when you see what it is and the lights right. So I think it kind of soca artist is all dressed different. Soca, I don't feel we have one specific
aesthetic of what is a soca artist.
Yeah, and I feel it happened there because growing up in the with Ronnie McIntosh and then with the trench coat and even like I would say Soca Monarch had a
aesthetic also.
And for my Teja performance, that is how I dressed up it. I was trying to dress like how I saw Soca Monarch back in the days, but modernized. So to me, that had but Soca itself as a genre or industry didn't really ever. Calypso had an identity more.
Right.
And then it kind of hard, like if you had to tell somebody who never saw carnival or if you had to play a soca song, you don't have to break down where is the road, why is we talking about jamming, where is he, you know? You had to explain a lot to them, and if they never saw or experienced carnival, it might kind of be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like what exactly is it?
Correct, right? But I think hip hop just has this cult following of day-to-day culture. And dancehall has this cult following a day-to-day culture that just draws people in all year. With us and soca, I think it's kind of based on the festival.
Right.
No, it's changing because people travel to other festivals.
Well, as you say that, right?
Yeah.
Now I'll ask you the question.
Right.
Because, I mean, as opposed to do I interviewed Hoppy.
Yeah, no, well, because
Hoppy shake up the place.
Yeah. He's a real
blunt.
person.
You know, he's blunt. You know, big Hoppy all the time, right?
Yeah.
But he said something that a lot of people didn't agree with. But I agreed.
Dancehall and soca.
He said that dancehall is more our culture than soca, right?
Yeah.
If I had to ask you, what is culture? What would you say?
Culture is different for everybody, right? Because for our parents' generation, right? My father was born in 1945. Culture was a cross between soul music and like oldies music into calypso. So culture for him was as a young boy listening to old records of American music.
Right.
But then around that time, calypso started to develop. So it's a kind of mix of both now. That kind of groomed that generation. Where it's like
that was his culture.
It's like you have foreign influence, but then you have the local influence. That was kind of based on the foreign influence because how the Calypsonians would dress with the suits and things.
He would dress like that too.
No, but I'm saying that is based on, I don't know, maybe say like Nat King. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Right, Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, right? And then you fast forward to the generation, like we say our generation, we were highly influenced by dancehall.
Right.
So our hip hop. So I think when you look at how we used to dress as teenagers, big baggy pants and right, that is.
So that was like what is what would you describe culture as?
So it should be.
Yeah.
Culture should be what's homegrown and what comes from the people. of a country and the community, the expression of the people of a
So
country.
you will say the culture is the creation, like so your culture have to be what did the people create, because Hoppy say dancehall is more
Right.
the culture.
I don't think culture is the right word for that.
Right.
But I kind of use that analogy with pops and like our generation where there's a subculture, because I watching the Gen Zs now where I love to see it. There are a lot of young black youths who just so confident and expressing themselves in a way that when I was younger,
We wasn't on
it wasn't that like being a dark-skinned person. Like we talk about colors and one thing. It was like the darker you are, people say you're ugly, but now people embracing black beauty and it's a whole different thing now.
Right.
That kind of influenced by Afrobeats, right? But that is the culture of the new generation, right? But then there's the culture of carnival, soca, which
That's
influence
different parts.
yeah,
Of course.
So
yeah.
I think no, everywhere in the world is influenced by other places, but especially us being an island, like say a developing nation, we highly influenced by other cultures, and other cultures influence our culture, no matter what, because it's what you're fed now.
Okay, what you're fed, yeah.
But we do have our own culture. Calypso is our culture, soca is our culture, chutney, limbo, tassa, that's our culture, doubles, roti, or whatever we do here. But then at the same time, like we say, gyros, like getting gyros, the gyro having
it became a
that is our culture too, right?
Like me, because like we say, like in the 80s, people would not have looked at eating a gyro after a party as a part of their culture.
Correct, yeah.
But we know, we definitely know eating a gyro after a party is a thing.
Yeah, exactly,
You know?
exactly.
And then I think even before the Indians came and they brought doubles, the people before never looked at eating doubles as a culture either. So I think culture does change. So that is why I agreed with Hoppy.
Yeah.
Because when I was going to school and the maxi pull up in front of the school to pick we up, there wasn't playing soca.
Dancehall.
It was dancehall. We were even adapting the style and the pattern of the dress code
And how I see it,
from the dancehall.
I think hip hop and dancehall was the stepfather that was there when the father.
Definitely.
They come back next season.
Yes. Especially for us.
Yeah, especially as us. Because we all, like every Marshall, highly influenced. He said in the interview, he's highly influenced by hip hop. You can tell. That is why we gravitated to Marshall too. Because he was like this international guy who is a superstar here.
Right.
Bungie to everybody.
Even Marshall created a culture.
He created
like
a culture.
the whining thing and
Of course.
that wasn't always the culture.
It was even the image of a soca artist, right?
The
Like
word
people,
fet and all was not a word in my grandmother days.
Correct.
It was tense.
Right. So
now we zessin.
no zest and
So
they have a record, we in a record store here now, big up to the Berg.
we at the Berg,
But there's a record from the Mighty Shadow that says it's called Zest Man.
I saw that, of course.
Right.
Yeah,
At MYOB had that. Right. That is my picture by the way.
I actually knew that since the whole zest thing started with the Trinidad.
Right.
I always wanted to know where that word came from. And when I did my research, I saw that.
And even like Nah Boy, right?
Yeah.
We were told that Nah Boy came from East Indian culture in Trinidad.
Right.
Like saying Nah Boy.
Right.
Like they don't want to say it's not like a grong thing. It's like the East Indians. So that might be, I don't know, but that different cultures are very interesting thing.
It is.
But I think culture is a mix of per generation. It's a mix of outside influences plus what's homegrown.
Plus what's homegrown. Yeah.
So it's especially in a developing nation.
And it's also day-to-day life.
It's day-to-day
like
life.
whatever the people are doing day-to-day should be called the culture.
The culture.
Because I 35 years old, right?
Right.
So I grew up in maxi taxi culture.
Yeah,
That's what I would have called it.
Right.
Maxi. So I would say hard pong was a part of my culture.
Yeah.
But my little niece now, who now going to school, she a part of the social media culture.
Yeah.
So to me, when Hoppy say dancehall is more our culture and soca, people might get angry. But to me,
we very, and that's one thing I learned about. We very protective and emotional and territorial about soca. And
what
carnival.
is the real culture? Well, I can't even say the real because I say when Marshall and them came with the fetting, our grandmother would have say that know we culture.
That is not we culture. Yeah.
So to me, they always look at it, bro. the youth dictates what is the new culture. And all people have to take a step back and say, back in my days, this was the culture. But the culture of today
is highly influenced.
Is dancehall music. As much as we don't want to accept that, is the reality. So I didn't see anything wrong with him saying.
But I think people get very
But culture change.
I think around Carnival, like, and this is what I understand. Carnival,
around Carnival
I can tell
too.
you and I,
don't talk for that.
No, we listen, I love Carnival. I've been playing mass for years, going out on the road. I love Soca, I love Carnival. I'm a 90s Soca nerd. Definitely. I know everything about 90s Soca.
Yeah.
But I also dabble in other genres. There are some people who, listen, when Carnival finishes on his Ash Wednesday, they counting down till the...
Definitely.
And I learned to respect that, especially like friends living away and you're seeing when in the cold and you do have a community. Carnival and Soca culture is what brings together Caribbean people.
Of course.
So when you're kind of...
No, but the people are way can't dictate who live in it.
Yeah.
Because all they're not even living in the culture.
But they're still training.
And when you think about it, and we have to be real, brave boy. The Soca is more and more becoming the culture of the Trinis that left Trinidad.
I saw you said that in a previous episode.
Yes, it is becoming that more and more. Like people, Carnival is becoming more and more a thing that the ones that left can't wait to come back.
But then you wouldn't say the same about like the golden era dancehall that we grew up on, which is like the Bounty, Beanie, etc. The people who really book those artists and really listen to that music are older and they might not be the youths. The youths in Jamaica listen to skeng and trap dance.
But that's dancehall.
So right, so I'm just saying that their culture, like what is dancehall culture in 2026? It's totally different.
But I think it's still dancehall.
It's still okay. So I get it. It's still dancehall, but it's just a different version.
We're still calling it dancehall.
Yeah. But here is flip, right? In Jamaica, the uptown, especially in Jamaica, soca is appreciated more than dancehall in a lot of ways. So there's that aspect too. So the uptown Jamaican is soca their culture now.
But that is why I said I think that the youth is to dictate the culture, because who are the DJs? Who are the artists? Who's the trending? Who's saying what to wear? Who's saying that shoe bad? Who's saying wear your hat like that?
Alright, so this is
the younger one.
This is something I had to learn, and as an interview with 50 Cent, show me this, right?
Yeah.
We kind of look at the young people as the biggest consumers.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is necessarily true, because if you think of who actually has money to buy things, there is the over 35 crowd have a lot of spending power and a lot of... So when you think about who goes most of the carnival fets, it's people over 35, because they have... So there... Now, the economy of carnival, like we say, the people playing mass, everything. I don't know the right answer to this, but it's possible to say that 35 and over dictate culture from a consumer perspective.
Definitely.
So that is not that. So the young people have power in terms of they saying what trending, and but the older generation still, you can still have cast this one, that one in a party, and they go in.
And of course,
they don't necessarily care who's a young hot person.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's an interesting conversation where you're not wrong, and I'm not necessarily wrong. It's so many.
I think that Hoppy just was not wrong. I'm not saying that soca is not our culture, you know. Soca is definitely. So we have cultures. We have Hindus, we have Muslims, we have Christians. We have Christians who don't even partake in carnival.
Everybody.
Still, you know.
KG, I party since I 12.
Yeah.
And the music that people respond the most to is dancehall.
Is dance.
No matter what age group within.
And probably 10 years from now, that could change. Because, let me be real, it had a generation that reggae music and Rastafari was more the culture
I would say,
than the dancehall.
I noticed that how much people love soca more over the past 2 years too. From going to more weddings, from going to more corporate events. When soca. I think people feel soca in a different way.
No.
Now too now.
It has its space.
Yes,
it
it's interesting,
definitely
yeah.
has its space. But
so,
all I'm
yeah.
saying is, people find like he should not have
shouldn't
said that.
say- I
But
think
I
both-
think he
both
was
are our
just
culture.
yeah, and I
Both
don't
are
think
our
he was
culture.
trying to bash soca. I
Yeah.
think he was talking from a perspective of
You're talking real.
the younger generation. Like every generation had a culture. Our
Yeah.
grandparents was not a culture of wine and jam.
Yeah.
There was a culture of a certain aesthetic.
It was a certain
Then
aesthetic.
my parents came with the super blues and the Ronnie Macintoshes and whatever, and they grew that culture to what it is today.
Then Marshall was the one
And then
who
Marshall come and he
created-
grew a culture.
And I would say
you
voice and second stand and
Yeah.
Earth One, they had a whole
Yeah,
movement.
I think
full of-
culture does change.
It's changed. It's
Culture does
young brother.
evolve.
To me,
Young brother is
young
a
brother
brand
really
new
love it.
culture.
They are, yeah.
You know, so I'm not saying that he was right or
know,
wrong.
I don't think he
But I
wrong.
guess
I don't
people
think
are
he
just open the mind a little bit when we
Yeah.
have these conversations.
I think you know what it is? People think of culture as what comes from
Yeah,
Trinidad.
definitely.
So I think where people were getting territorial and they thought Hoppy was wrong for saying that, I think they interpreted it as Hoppy is saying dancehall
Yeah.
also, like dancehall is a
Yeah.
part of our soil.
But we also
in
have to
that way.
remember we're one Caribbean.
So I would say
We're
dancehall.
one Caribbean.
Dancehall highly influences.
Yeah.
It's highly influential in Trinidad.
Definitely.
But it is not something that came out of Trinidad. But it's an outside culture. It's an outside culture that integrated into our culture.
Yeah.
But we have our culture that is really just ours. Right?
Really just ours.
Yeah.
Like
Steel
true
pan.
to just us.
Yeah, true to just us, right?
Yeah.
But then other islands might feel like our culture is their culture too.
True.
Right? So it's a tricky conversation, bro.
Because we create soca, right?
We create soca, right?
Say
Yeah.
Rashwati. But
And
if
you
you go
look-
Barbados and you ask them what is
Yeah.
the culture, they
Yeah.
go in and slip in the soca too.
But look at the booyah conversation. People saying booyah is not soca, it's booyah.
I say booyah is soca.
Yeah, but then you talk to somebody, where's Dominica, right?
Yeah.
People from Dominica might say, what you're saying, that is, people tend to be very
Them create their
territorial
own thing.
about what they love now. It's like
No,
what
but I
you tell
like
me.
Trinidad, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people will be like, that Jamaican thing.
Yeah.
But I am very tricky when I come to that.
Because you love it.
And not only that, I believe that we put a twist on something and created
Our own.
like zest, right? Like
Yeah.
zest, the whole tabla rhythm thing in the dance.
In the dance, yeah.
We create that, bro.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't something that was going on before.
But you know, I just
Yeah,
on that zest,
so-
I know we're talking soca, but
Yeah.
I feel like there was because at the time I was a promoter in Roscoe's. I used to do Roscoe's on a Saturday. And I remember like Kennedy, man. It has some people I find don't really get the props. It has like a movement that happened just
Right.
before Zest
Of
pop
course,
up.
of course.
That them
The forefathers.
Yeah, I feel like them. It was it was popping for a while now. So
Yeah, the forefathers.
yeah. So you know, and then
Trinidad Man, Trinidad Ghost.
yeah.
You know, a few
Yeah,
men.
yeah, I don't include them in the conversation, but
Yeah.
but I will definitely say Zest came from here. It's different from anything else, and it feels very much us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You see, when we
yeah.
use the word dancehall,
Yeah,
as you say, like what is soca now?
Yeah.
There's so many different veins, so many different sounds of soca.
It has so many
It has
different-
in Japan singing soca. It has
Correct,
in
correct,
words.
correct.
Bajan soca, the song
Yeah.
so much different.
So,
Grenadian and
Grenada's Dominica
jab
Booyah.
thing. It's song different what we just do.
And it's-
Zest
and
is
that
a
was saying is-
different type of dancehall.
this is a different type of
What
dance.
Lady Lava doing is not what Shensi are doing.
Yeah.
You know, so you know now, boy. Culture does change, culture does evolve.
Yeah, culture does
That's why I
evolve.
just look at
Yeah.
it. You know, we went from doubles to gyro.
No, I saw something where some influencers came to Trinidad and they were saying we trying the authentic food of Trinidad. We in the avenue having a gyro. I was
Gyro,
like, wow, we
bro.
rich,
My
right?
grandmother don't know that. My grandmother never eat a gyro.
But it is part of our culture.
But it is part of our
If it
culture.
is you are under 25, you don't know life without gyros. Right? Like gyro is just like doubles and
Real talk, bro.
you might not understand the history and
Right.
thing. So it's what
And then
it's-
imagine 25 years from now, how we going and look at gyro.
No,
We're going to
but
look
yeah.
at gyro as double.
I was saying, and the gyro that you get here is not the same
It's
gyro
not.
that you get in New York.
Yeah, I know foreigners who, as you say, that's
Yeah.
come here and
And
eat
they
them
taste the
gyro
gyro.
like a Trinidad thing.
Correct.
Yeah, so what avenue gyro?
And the guys from who make the gyros, they from Middle East or
Definitely.
Lebanon, etc. But they live in it.
Yeah, and they go and make churn,
And they go and make churn, and then churn might create-
and then them go and
They might create a roti gyro, or they might create a
boy.
double gyro.
boy.
So it gets very interesting. But people, listen, what I learn in life, people are very territorial about what they love,
Yeah,
whether it's
no lie.
people or music. So
and you see around carnival time.
yeah, they careful how you say
Yeah,
things.
watch that.
But
Don't disrespect the soca.
Yes, and that's why I say,
And I can't blame them.
And I myself got a different level of appreciation for soca in the past few years of my life when I saw what it means for people. And also I remembered what it meant for me as a teenager. And that's why the song, that's what the song is about. It's kind of about me reconnecting with soca. And I really love soca. I might like a specific era of soca and certain songs of today. But when I think about I meet plenty friends through carnival. I meet so many. When you think about good times in your life or experiences, a lot of them center around carnival.
Bro, let me be right here, right? Let me be right here. I is not like no big carnival baby.
Yeah.
But I play mass like twice in my life. I played Yuma.
Yeah.
And the first time I play, I'd always tell people that was the greatest time of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
life.
There's nothing
I'm
else
not
like it.
I'm not exaggerating.
There's nothing else like
it was the greatest time of my life.
And that was say the seasonal thing is a double-edged sword because on one side it kind of affecting
Of
it's not
course.
kind of it's killing us building a proper industry if we compare ourselves to others.
Right.
But when
if we compare,
that was it. But when you see it for what it is and you see it like people really
wait for this
whole
thing.
year and it's just anticipation.
imagine if that World Cup every year.
Correct.
You would
It
not
wouldn't be
care.
as special. And then also the history with slavery and there's, So I feel that
It is what it is.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have so much talent there.
Yeah.
Like, it have people who could be on Grammy stage and thing. If the right things moved and thing. But we have to, I've learned to appreciate it for what it is. It's part of my culture. I'm happy
definitely.
to be a part of it this year too. And I know it is, bro. I haven't fun yet. Like, and I was saying, if you want to jump for it, can't do your thing so come before back in the day, right? But if you decide to next year to say, well, after that conversation,
I remember voice telling me some years back. He say, he say I don't write free songs for nobody. I don't be on that. He say, but anytime you decide to sing soca, he say I'll write a song for you. Voice a hold you to that. I never forget you tell me that. Because I been with you, bro. I know one day I will sing a soca.
I started to tell people because I would have never thought this moment would happen. Because I was, every year KG, can remember I do the radio runs every year with modern music. And every year they ask me the same question.
Sing a soca.
When you going to do a soca, right? And every year I tell them, that's not me. And
look how going.
it just happened. I could tell it's not, I'm not singing soca just because it's for the money. When I say that, it's not like nothing else work out, so I'll do soca.
You wanted to contribute.
Yeah, it is this was purpose. Even how me and Mevon reconnect, even how the whole Explicit team reconnect to pull this song together and to push me as an artist this season. This is like the universe, bro. Like this is how people feeling about this song. That moment coming out on Treasure Stage when I post on Instagram, the kind of mess. I have brethren and sessions who inspired. They saying, listen, I was about to give up in something else I was doing, but I saw this video of you, and it's like, you almost bring tears to my eyes because it's just been so consistent. I'm just happy for you, bro.
A lot of people see a grind.
Yeah, and I think everybody have that moment in their life where they will like, you said that before off your head, but I think it have so many other moments that are going to happen in the country with creatives like that, where yes, it could be in soca, it could be in chutney. KG might break about that chutney and shell out the place.
In the past year or two, I would say,
it's
an amazing feeling to see so much of my peers, so much of people that I come up with, and I see in them getting a little chance. And as I was telling you off camera, if I knew that so much of us would get a little chance, and we was always asking for a chance to just be in the light a little bit, I would have not held my head down at no time in my journey. If I knew that KG boy, if in 2009, I know 2026 boy, you would be sit down here, Braveboy, and you would have a platform and well, they could be having this reasoning, I would have been like, I would stay patient. So that is why all youths and them who looking to really take away from this interview and know that no matter how long it take, the race is not for the swiftest.
And you know, I have a
but for the
brethren,
ones who could endure.
some of my brethren of mine who lives in LA told me, he's like, he's never seen anybody be so consistent or persistent and keep improving. That's the important part.
Correct.
So if you're consistent and you're doing this,
Improve at your craft.
but if you keep doing this, even if you do this, but then you do this again, you will make it.
Yeah.
And you don't know when, eh?
Yeah.
That is up to God. It's up to the universe. But I think, no, I didn't make it. But I just saying in testament in terms of you will reach again a big step further to where you want to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, just
You had to make a conscious effort to be better.
and it takes sacrifice, eh, because I took
Definitely.
a lot. I mean, I was a big lime. Everybody know me as a big lime. Huh? Over the past year of my life, took a step back and I started to focus on zoning in. To what I started to think, all right, like liming, I've been liming so many years of my life. That's how-
Networking, I networking.
yeah, that's my power. But at the same time, I need to start focusing on my artistry more. I need to start like what I'm trying to achieve now and zoning. And you see, it's research and study. And I'm sure you're a student of the
Study
game.
the game.
Tell you, bro, I watch every Soca and one act.
Study the game, bro.
I watch every Soca and one act, and something resonated with me when I saw Blazer Dan, and I was like, yeah, all right.
Study
I
the
just pressed
game.
pause then, I went to sleep.
Yeah. You know, YouTube had this thing for the new year where it was sending out like your top 5 channels that they was looking at.
Yeah.
For the year. And I was seeing artists who doing this music thing, and them top 5 would be like Chronic Law, Cartel. And I said,
yeah.
what? When I watch my top 5 is The Breakfast Club, Ojo,
Yeah.
Ojo TT, you know,
Yeah.
Vlad TV documentaries,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
my whole thing is to be better and to just study the game more and more and more and
No,
more.
bro,
and
I
more.
telling you, I watched this since I always comment on
Yeah,
it. I watched this since the first episode. I think I'd message on Instagram and say, bro, I really like what you're doing, because that's just a real thing. Like you doing this kind of touch and nerve with me too, in terms of we didn't have synergy again.
Right,
and I felt like synergy used to kind of let you know who the
Propel,
artists are.
propel certain vibes,
and have
correct.
certain conversations.
Yep,
And
yep.
I like what Corey Shepherd, I
Like
like
what
that
Corey
everybody have different things now. I learned a lot about the artists I grew up. Look like I think you had KMC,
Yeah,
you had General Grant, right?
Grant, yeah.
These are artists who
Robert Amaro.
that Amaro, and I always wanted to know what is the story behind Chris Kitty Caravan, like how
Bro, I just sit down and all talking. Like
Yeah.
I even learned from you, you know, like in your journey and all the backstories and
bro, it have so many
I mean, we
interesting.
need these
people.
stories out there, bro. We need them.
Yeah, no what I did, but I'm glad I was able to pick up 5 miles because
Oh, good.
them
5
fellas
miles,
was,
boy.
yeah.
Jano.
Yeah.
That was our memory, boy.
Orange Sky is our next.
Orange
Them fellas
Sky.
is legends too.
Yeah, be real.
And yeah, now we have so much talent, and I think I hate to see talent wasted.
Yeah.
So beyond me and my career and stuff, I would love to open doors for younger talented people and whatever way. So I don't know if it means a label or agency or something, but I really would like to that's why I give away these gems now.
Yeah.
Because I would like somebody to hear it and try it, and they could see me and say, hey bro, I really try it and it helped me. That, at least they put it over there now.
Yeah.
Knowledge is not the keep on thinking.
Real talk.
Yeah.
So I mean, bro, it's
Yeah,
anything that you want to leave with the youths and them. I mean, a lot of gems passed on in this interview, but have anything from your heart you feel like you can really look into that camera and really,
And say,
you know?
I think, as I always tell people, you are you and that is your superpower. I think that is one of my favorite quotes because it only have 1 kg, it only have 1 Braveboy, right?
Yep.
And I say I admire your grind with this show, especially because you know how hard it is to have an idea and be consistent with it. But your podcast different from every other podcast because you are you now. Correct. And I always say I think I different from any other artist here because I am me. And I just want youths to embrace your uniqueness. Yeah. Even if people might find you weird, or people might find you this, or people might find I don't understand what this man doing. If you really believe that what you're doing is dope and cool, stick with it.
Do your thing.
Yes, I.
Don't let them fight you, bro.
Yeah.
You dig? So my brother,
One love.
I know you're band practice now.
Well,
You're a busy man now.
I hope still on that. I get my jack. I said I food it well. My WhatsApp now. But this is important because I've been looking forward to coming as a guest.
Yeah.
And I really thought I would have come on this show to talk about hip hop only.
Nah.
But the fact that I come in to talk to them about soca is,
And culture.
I would have never know. I would have never know. So you never know what happen in life. Yeah.
So big up yourself, bro. Keep pushing the thing. Keep being an inspiration.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
know,
sir.
keep showing the people that they do have a time stamp on this thing.
You never
You
know,
know,
bro.
continue
Yeah.
pushing, continue inspiring.
Yeah.
You know, as I say.
Calypso Rose, last time I say, Calypso Rose performed at Coachella in her 70s.
Real talk.
What I think
Real talk.
60s or 70s, but I believe 70s.
Yeah.
So you never you never
Push
know when your
yourself.
moment gonna happen.
Never give up.
Yeah,
Never give
yeah.
up. Consistency is key.
Consistency is key.
Can't stress that enough.
Yes, I.
You dig?
One love, my brother.
And that is it, you know.
That is it.
Boom.